Ta-da! Cheers again. Cheers to you. Goodbye to you. Isley, goodbye to you. 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 Hey, I have a surprise to show you, but I'll wait till a few more people get here because I want the shock value. I want the shock value to really be maximized. I'm going for max shock value today, folks, because I got a thing I've been waiting for. And I think you're going to like it a whole lot. Dance and a peppermint. I hope PBS has good audio because I'm lazy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Meowing star. Absolutely. And it's a surprise that I could not have prepared you for this surprise. Yes, I'm building it up. That's right. God damn it. I'm building it way the fuck up because I am truly excited. I am truly blessed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Fear over faith. Okay, hold on. Welcome to Twice Baked. I'm Lolo. I forgot to tell you that. Sorry about that. Okay, hold on. Wait. Let's get this. This is just the meeting of the Antifa haters shall commence. All those present say aye, aye. All those not here say not here. I'm not here. Anyway. Yeah, I'm so surprised. I mean, I'm so surprised. I'm so happy about this surprise. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm so happy about this surprise. I think you're going to love it. I just talked to Bobo on the phone and I showed her the surprise and she, I don't want to say loved it. She found it a little bit traumatizing, which, is also a viable reaction. So you be the judge. I think beauty is in the eye of the beholder in this case, clearly. And I think what I am going to surprise you with is absolutely beautiful. Not bad. How are you? Griffey! I know. Sweating, laughing. Oh my gosh, who's on the roof? Don't jump. What are you doing up there? We should have a music video while we're waiting. Hold on. Let me see if I can play one of my favorites from my own collection. I'll just do it in the audio. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Let's see. Let's play a little song. What do we got here? Where's my lyrically Lolo? Where is it? Okay. Where is it? Well, there's Umflow. Okay, here we go. We'll look at this playlist. This is probably where. Okay. Let's see. No, let's not do that one. No. God. Oh, wait. Do I have the? Do. I don't have that other video. The one that was banned. Where's the one that was banned? I guess I don't have that one. I don't think Oof is here, but slump snorting chopped Adderalls. Trying to get revved up enough to interact with Chud influencers. Oh my god. They should just use some of his diapers. Yeah, exactly. The comment Max left before the broadcast began, slump roundtable delayed as aides frantically search for larger shoulder pads. That is absolutely a winner, Max. 100%. I don't want to play one of my own. Well, what I want to play one of my silly music videos. Not let's see. This is a new one. Is this a new one? Do I have music to this one? I don't even know. Oh, I do kind of have music to this one. I guess hold on. Which one do I want? Oh my god, I'm so excited. Which one? Which one do I want? Okay, this is my latest one. Hold on. My latest one. As if I've done something, it's like whatever. All right. Whoops. Okay. This is Russ Takes No Pleasure, the newest drop from Lolo's Lounge. That's right, everybody.
Fun with this, but at the end of the day, the decisions are tough ones, and I've met with him. I talked yesterday at length with Russ Vogt, who's the director of the Office of Management and Budget. Russ takes no pleasure in this. Russ wants to see a smaller, more efficient, orderly, and effective federal government as we do. Russ takes no pleasure in this. Russ takes no pleasure in this.
Drop that beat.
Russ takes no pleasure in this.
Russ takes no pleasure.
Russ takes no pleasure in this.
It's the remix.
Takes no pleasure in this.
He takes no pleasure.
Takes no pleasure in this.
The Russ Vogt music.
Takes no pleasure in this. No pleasure. Takes no pleasure in this. No pleasure. No pleasure. No pleasure. Russ takes no pleasure in this. Russ takes no pleasure in this.
Drop that beat.
No pleasure.
No pleasure.
No pleasure.
Russ Vogt takes no pleasure.
Russ takes no pleasure in this. No pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Russ takes no pleasure. I gotta start doing that. I should remix my songs and put my voice over. I'm just so lazy. It takes me everything I have in my fucking brain to do one thing a day. Okay, you ready for the surprise? I didn't think there are some bits that I think are classics and can never be improved upon, right? There are some comedy bits that will never be improved over time. That's just the way it is. But I discovered that there is one category where that is not true. And it is the baby hand movement. Welcome to hot dog fingers. Oh, God. Can you imagine going up to an ICE officer and putting your finger in their face? Because that is what is going to happen with these hot dog fingers. They're like gloves. They even have veins on the back of the hand. Can you see? Like veins on the back of the hand. So welcome to the new world. I mean, this is like I don't even. This is like Christmas and Easter wrapped into one. He's born and he's dead, all in one. A miracle of whatever. Ridiculously oversized. Yes, exactly. Oh, I know the flag. Look at this. Look at what happens when I do. I'm gonna wear these. I'm totally gonna. I found them on Amazon, of course. Everything's on Amazon. I'm sorry. I realize that. I'm supporting a corporate demagogue. I do apologize for that. But come on now. I mean, come on. The hot dog fingers? Come on. Just the tip. I'm just going to wave my tip. Officer, what are you doing to that person? Oh, that's right. Wait. Oh my God, that's right. Wait. Hold on. It's not a party till the wieners come out. Oh my God. Stop it. Oh. Yeah, winner. Hold on. I get my hair on my face. I want to thank Der Wiener Schnitzel for making these hats and a delicious chili cheese dog in the process. I'm going to take the hot dog hands off for now, but yeah, these winner chicken dinner. Absolutely the most amazing hand bits. And I could not be happier. I could not be happier that I found hot dog hands, because what I was looking for, I had seen someone posted a video where they had like a Mickey Mouse finger, but it kind of wagged, but it wasn't huge. But they were putting that in the face of the ICE officers and be like, "Ah!" And I thought it was so cute. And I couldn't actually find the same thing that they seem to have. But then I saw hot dog hands. Stop it. Hot dog hands. Come on now. Come on. That's brilliant. You gotta love the hot dog hands. You do. You have to love it. You really do. Anyway, well, we're waiting for these dipshits to get their act together. The senators are crawling around the floor at sea, not doing anything. Let's see what else. J.B. Pritzker says, "Come and get me, boss." Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker spoke to Jacob Soboroff in Chicago. That's another little headline just for you. Interesting. Oh, I want to issue a correction to this this morning's broadcast. I expressed that I appreciated the U.S. attorney's, fact-based just presentation and his kind of whatever. But now I take it all back, because he is the California U.S. state attorney. I didn't recognize him right away, but it's Anthony Eswali. I'm not sure how to say his last name. He's a dick. He tried to prosecute one of the protesters from the detention center for handing out masks and water. That's the one where that case was thrown out. So that guy, unfortunately, huge dick. Bad person. Icky poo-poo. We don't like him. So anyway, I just wanted to issue that correction on the record, that even a broken clock can be right 2 times a day. And that was the case with these douche whistles. Anyway, thank you for coming to my show. We're waiting for this notoriously late president. Let me see, because I actually had some other stuff. Hold on, babes. Hold on, Bobs. Let's say Bobs. I've got so much stuff. Oh, do I want that one or read that? Oh, well, let's read this, because actually, wait, when was this? October 7th. Tariffy. Oh, wait, when was this from? Oh, I know. This was, of course, I mean, I don't know where the original reporting on this was from, but I just want to, maybe it's just reminding people, because maybe you already knew about this. I didn't actually know about this. This reporting that I'm going to share with you came from June. And this is the source right now is the Hindustan Times, and I'm just not sure where they picked up, or if they did the original reporting. I imagine they just picked it up off of someone else, so forgive me. But Antifa was a word in the New York Times spelling bee twice in the last. Really, Jen? Why? Portland did a naked bike ride in. Oh, that's so great. I love Portland. I really do. I love Portland. Hey, J Rance, did you see the hot dog fingers? Did you make it in time for the hot dog fingers? My newest addition to my yeah, they're really gonna try and shut us down, folks. Just so you know. No, I'll put them on again. You've seen the little hands. Now get ready For the hot dog fingers. That's right. When you go up to an ICE agent, excuse me, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, with the hat. Yeah. Wait, I'll do. I would wear this hat, but I don't. The thing is going to be actually pretty serious. But okay, here's the full effect. The hat. Party. I got this at Der Wiener Schnitzel, like literally a hot dog place. Yeah, my life is complete now. I don't need love in my life. I have hot dog fingers. That sounded wrong, but earthquake or a big truck? Uh-oh, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel an earthquake. Please don't say that. I don't want an earthquake. I know, aren't they the best? I'm telling you right now. I can't. I love props so much. I love physical humor so much. Okay, let me read to you about Timu Nosferatu. Okay. Oh, what is this? What is this, everybody? What is this? Why do we have this large white block here? Oh my God. Get rid of it. What is going on? Are you kidding? Okay, good. Okay. Shit. Okay, this is from June. Yeah, I hot dog fingered it. You got your Daft Punk-esque glasses today. They're awesome. Fabulous. Fabulous. Okay. So anyway, Stephen Miller profiting off ICE deportations? Report brings up Palantir link. I mean, who isn't linked to Palantir really at this point? Oren says steel fabrication behind me. Anything is possible. From June 26, 2025, Stephen bought the stocks on in 2021. After Dump left the White House, but before he launched his large-scale plan to strengthen immigration enforcement. Well, I mean, not really technically before, but we get what your point is. Stephen Miller, White House Deputy Chief, and Timu Nosferatu has made a huge financial investment in Palantir, a tech company that could gain millions under Donald Trump's hardline immigration policies, according to watchdog group Project on Government Oversight. Is this really from 2025? Okay. As per the report, he bought the stocks in 2021 after Dump left the White House, but before he launched his large-scale plan to strengthen immigration enforcement. The information was updated as recently as June 4th, as reported by the New Republic. Okay, great. We can find that article. Last month, Trump's team chose Palantir. chose Palantir. That's so funny. I don't know if DuckDuckGo does that. Do they? I haven't used them enough. I just keep forgetting. It's just because I keep forgetting. Dump's team chose Palantir to help create a system that would let federal agencies share their data more easily. Remember that? This would lead to a large database that acts as a tool for government surveillance. Palantir is also trying to get a role in the U.S. Navy's efforts to speed up warship production. Hence all the talk about warship. Hello? Wow. You know, those donors, man, they are getting what they want in a big fucking way. Wow, this really paid off. Great investment, Peter. Mother must be proud. Palantir is also trying to get a role in the U.S. Oh yeah, I said that already. Palantir has been the best performing company on the S&P 500 in 2025. I guess that was as of June. It's probably still. With its stock going up by 80% so far this year. We can check that. Because Miller works closely with ICE, his investment in Palantir is raising red flags. Virginia Cantor, who's the chief counsel for the Ethics and Anti-Corruption at the Democracy Defenders Fund, told Pogo? I'm not sure what Pogo means. That Miller may be crossing the line. If he hasn't stepped over the line, he's just on the verge of it, Cantor said. I just don't think anybody would be comfortable with him keeping this stock. Trump's immigration push is expected to benefit companies that deal in surveillance and private prisons. Now it may help one of Trump's top advisors make a lot of money. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. That's right. It's all about the money. Let's see. Oh, there's just so much. There's just so much. Okay, let me check one more thing. We should have known that this thing wasn't going to start on time. Because he's pooping. Hello, he's pooping. Well. All right, let's go over some. Oh boy. I'm sorry, so sorry that I drag you over here so much. Oh. Yeah, Ivan Raiklin was harassing Maureen Comey. What a dick. I can't wish enough bad things for him. You're not seeing ads in DuckDuckGo searches? Okay, I'll do that. That I think was an archive, but I'm not entirely sure. But I'm going to try that. You know what? I should try that when it comes to random trivia. Maybe that'll help us on the trivia. Oh my God, you guys are great. You're amazing. All right, here we go. This is headlines from Reuters. So I'd like to go through Reuters during the day from time to time just to see what's the haps. What's the haps, paps? And right now, here's the headlines just from this is just straight up the front page. Trump calls for jailing Democratic leaders. 21 minutes late. I guess they can't find where they stashed those extra large shoulder pads. Good one, Max. Tim at Sons of Liberty made an excellent video about the Texas National Guard. Oh, that's cool. I have to watch that. I know I never catch their stuff. I am subscribed. U.S. President Donald Trump on Wednesday, that's today, called for jailing Chicago's mayor and the governor of Illinois, both Dems, as his administration prepares to deploy military troops on the streets of the third largest U.S. city. There they are. They got their little bags. Texas National Guard walk through the Joliet Army Reserve Training Center in Elwood, Illinois. Okay. Oh my gosh. Most Americans oppose militarizing law enforcement. A Reuters Ipsos poll finds. Let's check it out. 58% of Americans oppose militarizing law enforcement. Poll shows 58 of militarizing law enforcement. Make sure we understand that. Trump's approval rating drops to 40% amid crime handling concerns. You did not miss it, SB. You're perfectly on time. Democrats challenge troop deployments as politically motivated. Some 58% of Americans, which I hate polls, so I don't put much stock in anything, but this one is intriguing to me to see a certain perspective. I don't know. Anyway, that's my disclaimer, is that I don't promote any polling. Some 58% of Americans, including 7 in 10 Democrats and half of Republicans. What's wrong with the other 3? Think the president should send armed troops only to face external threats, a sign of unease as President Trump increasingly deploys National Guard troops to police American cities. The poll, which ran Friday through Tuesday, also showed the Republican president's approval rating ticking down to 40%, 1% percentage point lower than in a late September poll. Who are these 40%? That's what I really want to know. What the fuck are you getting out of this? Tell me, because I really want to know. Oh my God. And how do people get involved in this polling? I mean, can other pollsters manipulate the polling results of other pollsters? Do you see what I'm saying? Pritzker is calling out the National Governors Group for staying silent. Oh my gosh, Jen, I didn't even think of that. That's actually an excellent point. Where is the National Governors Group? This is ridiculous. They're my neighbors. They're always angry at everything and everyone, even each other. I'm like, you guys have been winning. What's the problem? What is the problem with you? God, you should be happy and at home and spending all that extra income you have. Okay. All right. So the poll was conducted in the days after Trump told an unusual meeting of hundreds of generals and admirals summoned from around the world to Virginia that the U.S. faces an enemy within. And as he deploys armed troops to patrol a growing number of Democratic cities, including Washington, D.C. and Los Angeles. Well, you know what? The Republicans in my city are going to be very sad to know that we're a Democrat city. The president should only deploy troops to areas with external threats. All adults Yes. Democrats are 72%. What's this other? Republicans 51. Well, okay, wait a minute. Excuse me. Wait. Um I'm sorry. Are you telling me that 51% of Republicans, stay with me here for a second, folks. Please share the broadcast. We have 7 beautiful viewers, but I know we could have more. 51% of the Republicans polled agree that the president should only deploy troops to areas with external threats. 51 more, a majority, that's what I'm going to say. A majority of Republicans believe the president should only deploy troops to areas with external threats. That's important. That's important. Now, the president should be able to send troops into a state even if its governor objects. All adults, 37%. 70% of Republicans. So they're not totally like, they're not totally, whatever. The U.S. military should remain politically neutral. It's interesting to me that 18% said no. I know we are clueless. No, I know what you mean, Jen. 18% of Republicans said the U.S. military should not remain politically neutral. Democratic leaders say the deployments are politically motivated, and have challenged the troop movements in court. Thank you, governors. Thank you, state AGs. Trump on Monday threatened to invoke an 18th century anti-insurrection law to sidestep any court rulings. Well, he's not doing it yet because he's late. He's still pooping. To sidestep any court rulings restricting his orders to send guard troops into the cities over the objections of local and state officials. Some 37% of poll respondents said they agreed with the statement the president. Okay, well, we pretty much went over those. Trump has also deployed troops along the U.S. border, which I tend to forget about. I tend to forget that he's actually continued to deploy our troops who are basically on the border, augmenting border patrol. I wonder how that's going. Arguing the country is being invaded by criminal immigrants, except for the fact that we've had 0 crossings the last 4 months. What's the part about asylum? Where's that found? Is asylum covered in anything other than just like immigration law? Is asylum covered in any part of the Constitution or its amendments? Is that part of our, our mission statement, if you will, to provide asylum for refugees? I don't know. I guess not. Now that I say it out loud, it doesn't sound like something I recall being explicitly laid out in any kind of like founding document. Actually, I guess that would make sense because really the the big wave of immigrants after the colonizers are the border between the states, the border. Okay. Okay, I get it. All right. Well, we're not leaving live. Okay, now we're live. Sorry about that. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, and again, kind of going back to when I was talking this morning about the situation in Portland that I've been kind of watching and listening to a lot, and listening to the chuds that are on the ground there. And the interesting observation that I am making about this next phase of kind of political resistance and what we should, be aware of, I guess. And I know people are aware of this. I'm not breaking any news here. But my observation is that the digital soldier. Wait, can you send me who you're watching? Wait, what are you guys talking about? About Facebook? You guys are so good. You're just like going on. Even is international law, right? I know Does this oversized flag make me look fat? The Portland Chuds are high. Yeah, they're trying really hard to provoke a riot. And this whole concept, of digital soldier. Oh, watching Portland. I will. Oh, I will. Sorry. God, I'm so dumb. Yes, I will drop that in Signal or Discord or wherever, or both. And the Portland Andy is one place to start because he's either there or he's restreaming. Now, I have him on mute because he's a fucking chud, fucking dick, fucking incel. You're so cute. Thank you. Oh, I know. And I'm actually delighted if people have conversations when I'm going on. I'm delighted. I love you guys doing that. You don't have to ever. I'm never offended by that. Oh my God. I'm more grateful than anything else. I think the chat makes this show. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to keep it 100, as the kids would say. But this, this digital soldier kind of, hi Val, I've absorbed. I was trying to troll. I can't troll BCP anymore because his people all attack me really. Red Mama got on me the other day when I said something. Oh shit.
You were so good yesterday.
You were so good yesterday. Whoops. Oh shit.
Thank you very much.
I got my Barbies
I was
at my
just
side.
dealing with people from the Middle East, our people and other people on the potential peace deal for the Middle East. Peace for the
Now
Middle
it's
East.
potential?
It's a beautiful phrase, and we hope it's going to come true, but it's very close. And they're doing very well. We have a great team over there, great negotiators. And
Yeah, he's got beady little eyes
unfortunately,
today.
great negotiators on the other side also. But it's something I think that will happen, got a good chance of happening. I may go there
100% meowing.
sometime toward the end of the
100%.
week, maybe on Sunday, actually, and we'll see. But there's a very good chance negotiations are going along very well. We're dealing
Middle
with
East?
Hamas and many of the countries. As you know, we have all of the Muslim countries are included.
All of
the
them?
Arab countries are
All of them?
included. Very rich countries and some that are not so rich, but just
Oh.
about everybody's included. It's never happened before. Nothing like that's happened
about
before.
everybody?
Our final
Just who's
negotiation,
missing?
as you know,
Who's
is
missing?
with Hamas,
Sir,
and it seems to be going well. So
who's missing?
we'll let you know. If that's the case, we'll be leaving probably on Sunday, maybe Saturday, maybe a little.
Whoa, I'm not trying to do that.
Later than Saturday evening. That seems to be our schedule.
What the hell?
It should be
I'm
clear
not
to
doing that.
all Americans that we have a very serious left-wing terror
Thanks,
threat
AP.
in our country. Radicals associated with the domestic terror group.
Hold on.
Antifa.
Hold
You've
on.
heard a lot about lately, and I've heard a lot about them for 10 years. And other far-left extremists have been carrying out a campaign of violence against ICE agents.
What the hell is happening?
Other officials charged with enforcing federal law. In Chicago, anarchists
I think
have
this is a
surveilled
problem
at least
of the
four
local
local
shit.
ICE facilities and posted diagrams of the buildings online, meaning nothing but bad. Accompanied by photos of specific ICE agents. They're targeting one in particular who's a top person and a great patriot. In July, approximately a dozen Antifa-aligned militants stormed the ICE facility in Texas and then lured officers out of the building before firing dozens of rounds at police. They were crazy, frankly.
Wait, what? Who fired
Shooting
dozens
one
of
Texas
rounds? Oh,
officer
that was
in
one
the
guy.
neck. And in Portland, Oregon,
Wasn't he a Chan?
Antifa thugs have repeatedly attacked our offices and laid siege to federal property
No,
in
we
an attempt
haven't.
to violently stop the execution of federal law.
Not violently.
Everything we're doing is very lawful.
No,
what
it's
they're
not.
doing is not lawful.
No, it
And
is.
what,
Yes, it is.
The governor and the mayor of, as an example, you could say of Portland, and you can say certainly of Chicago, it's not lawful what they're doing. They have to be very careful. In addition, 2
Really?
weeks ago,
Why?
radical left terrorists in
It was
Dallas
me.
conducted a sniper attack
Translator.
on a local ICE facility, killing 2 people and leaving
Yes,
behind
that
a
was
note
terrible.
that read, "Hopefully this will give ICE agents some real terror." That's bad. This attack
Yeah,
came
that
the
was
very
bad.
same month
That guy was
Charlie
insane.
Kirk was assassinated by a far-left extremist who
No,
inscribed
he
the
wasn't
words,
far-left.
"Hey,
He was
fascist,
complicated."
catch," meaning catch the bullet,
From a game.
onto the bullet shelf itself. The epidemic
shelf?
of left-wing
Elf on a
violence
shelf?
and Antifa-inspired terror has been escalating for nearly
No, it
a
hasn't.
decade.
No, it
At
hasn't.
universities, Antifa has organized riotous mobs to
No, it
attack
hasn't.
campus speakers.
No,
I
it
see it all
hasn't.
the time. And
No, it hasn't.
These are agitators,
Nuh-uh.
anarchists,
Nuh-uh.
and they're paid.
Nuh-uh.
And you'll find
oh
that
my
out.
God,
You'll be
no.
finding it out very soon.
You will
should
find
see what
out?
we have
Why?
on
'Cause
these
you have
people.
data?
These are bad people. These are people that want to destroy our country. We're not going to let it happen.
Oh, sorry.
They've used armed gangs to assault local police in cities nationwide, and they've attacked journalists reporting on their crimes. So the journalists that report
Oh, no,
on
Nick
their crimes,
Sorter
don't
is
worry,
not a
you're very safe.
journalist.
I hope
He's
that's
a
not going to
fucking
turn
streamer.
you around, but they have been
Yeah,
very
fuck you.
threatening to people.
Twice
but we're going to be very
baked.
threatening to them,
Twice
far more
baked.
threatening to them than they
You missed
ever
the hot
were
dog
with us, and that
fingers.
includes the people that fund them. Probably some of the people I know, some
You're
of the
missing
people I
out.
dine with. But if they do, they're
Some of
in
the
deep
people I
trouble.
dine with.
So we're going to be looking very strongly at the people that are funding these operations. When you see the signs, and they're all made out of a beautiful, beautiful paper, beautiful, nice, stiff, very
I
expensive
do get my
paper
poster
with
board at
beautiful wood handles,
CVS.
all the same.
Yes, I
all
do.
the same color. They come from very expensive printing machines. These are not people that write out their signs in a basement
is
that believe
Insurrection
in
Act
something.
Day.
These are paid anarchists.
Nuh-uh.
At least 3 of these
Nuh-uh.
courageous journalists have personally been victims of Antifa attacks.
Nuh-uh.
Andy Ngo has been repeatedly beaten by Antifa thugs for his work in cruel. And Andy is
He's such a dick.
a very serious person. too,
fucking
I have to tell
agitator.
you. I've been watching him for a long time. Is Andy here? That's what I thought. Hello, Andy. I thought that was you.
Oh,
You're
because
looking
you're
better than
yeah.
you do out on those streets, huh?
Oh,
You look much better. It's nice to have you. You feel a
boy.
little safer
Yeah,
here, I
milkshake
think,
boy.
maybe.
I
Well,
can't
not that
stand
safe
Andy
'cause you
Ngo.
have
He's a
them.
fucking
Don't have to
asshole.
worry about that. But thank you very much. Andy Ngo has been repeatedly beaten by Antifa, and including one assault that left him with a brain hemorrhage. Only days ago, Nick Sorter was assaulted in Portland by a
Yeah.
flag-burning mob, and we've
because
made
he's provoking. They're all
1-year penalty
provoking.
for inciting riots. We took the freedom of speech away
Well, then,
because that's been through
You know
the
what?
courts.
If
and
you should
the
take
courts
Nick
said
Sorter's
you have
freedom
of speech,
away
but
then, because he was
what has
inciting
happened
violence.
is when they burn a flag, it agitates and irritates crowds. I've never seen anything like it on both sides, and you end up with riots. So we're
No, you
going on
don't.
that basis. We're looking
Flag
at it
burning-
from not
one guy
from
was
the freedom
burning
of
a
speech,
flag.
which I always felt strongly about,
That's
but
freedom of
never passed
speech,
the courts.
bitches.
This is
Just
what
because he said
they
it
do is
isn't
they incite
doesn't
when
make
you
it so.
Burn an American flag, you
Get
incite
a
tremendous
grip.
violence. We have many examples of it, many examples of it, and it's
No, you don't.
actually down on tape, and you see things happen that just don't happen unless it's a flag that's burning.
What?
Very recently, Katie Davis Court was hit in the face with a flagpole in Portland by an Antifa radical,
Sorry.
leaving her with a very blackened eye. So, Katie, thank you very much. And I'd
Wow.
like to also say that I watched Nick. Where's Nick? Is Nick here? Nick? Hi, Nick. That was a
This
rough
is
time
gr-
you went
this
through.
is
I watched.
insane.
I hope you got my little note. I
This
wrote
is
you a
fucking
note.
insane.
I really appreciated that. It helped a lot because it was a difficult situation. It was very stressful.
Shut up,
Yeah.
Nick.
And your note helped a lot. I truly appreciate it.
I thought it was terrible, actually. I thought it was terrible. So we'll talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Is
Under
this
the
the guy
last
who pardoned
administration,
people
the
who beat
Department
cops
of
with
Justice
flagpoles?
targeted
Yeah.
faithful Catholics, Christians, and patriotic parents as domestic extremists. They said, oh, they're extreme
I know. How dare we
because they
allow
believe
this?
in God. They're extreme because they go to a Catholic church, or evangelicals, where everybody was under the gun. Unless you were a really bad, sick person, then they left you alone. Under the Trump administration, we're going after Antifa criminals, and all who fund and support their campaigns are in serious trouble. And we have a lot of
Yes,
records
flagpoles and
already,
burning
a lot
flag,
of
bad.
surprises, a lot of bad surprises. It's people that you would never think. I want to thank Attorney General Pam Bondi, who, by the way,
I hope
yesterday
so,
was
Grace
incredible
Lisa.
in Congress.
I hope so.
It was amazing, and she just did it from the heart and the brain, because she's very smart, in all fairness. But she did it from the heart, and she did it an incredible. Everybody
Bullshit.
was talking about it. She exposed some of
Everybody.
these
I don't even know who she
fake
is.
senators, these terrible senators, people like Blumenthal that had a phony war record. For 20 years, he talked about it, what a hero he was, and it turned out he never went to Vietnam. For 20 years, he talked about being a hero in Vietnam,
Neil.
then it was exposed.
I know.
when he said what platoon he was with, and it was exposed that somebody was watching from that particular platoon. They said he was never with us.
Boy,
And
he
then
sure
went
knows
out
this
and he
story.
cried, and he was ready to drop out of the election.
Isn't it interesting how well he
And,
knows this story?
Disgraceful. And then he looks
that
at
interesting?
people like Pam and he starts criticizing her, and she's a patriot. And they ought to do something with that. You know, we have a young congressman that's right now in jail for lying about where he went to college and other things. It was, you know, frankly not good. It was pretty bad. But it was nothing compared to Blumenthal. I mean, what Blumenthal did, he was for 20 years a hero, a great war hero. And then he sits back and, you know, sanctimonious kind of a guy. Looks down, how dare you do this to the American public, you know?
There you go.
What a
little
fake.
bag of candy.
But I thought Pam was incredible
I did. I had some
yesterday,
hot
as well
tamales
as
yesterday.
Secretary
the day before.
Kristi Noem, who's really out there courageously, and I appreciate it, Kristi.
Crispy
Amazing what you're
Noem.
doing. FBI Director Cash Patel, who's
I gotta think about a
really
song for her.
coming up with some great information, Cash. It's great. Keep it coming, because there's plenty of it.
Oh, really?
Deputy Attorney
You're
General,
coming
one
up
of the
with
best
great
lawyers you'll
information?
ever find. Todd Blanche, who I know personally is a good lawyer because
Yeah.
I'm here. Thank you very much.
you're not in
Good
prison.
job, Todd. Let me ask Attorney
okay.
General Bondi to say a few
Okay.
words, and then we'll follow it up with Secretary Noem and Director Patel. And we're going to have some
What?
of the people around the table, very courageous people.
Yeah.
And they're going to be
'Cause I bought
talking
candy,
journalists,
right.
almost all. And they're going to be talking, and we'll take some questions from the press at the end. Okay,
good.
Pam, please.
Thank you, President Trump. And as
Thank
you
you,
made clear,
President
Antifa is a domestic left-wing terrorist organization. We've seen them on video
how
for
shaky she
years
is. Oh,
because they
Susie.
wanted to be seen and they got away with it. They beat journalists, they attack courthouses, they attack police stations, they dox and assault our law enforcement officers.
No, they
The
don't.
Biden administration let them commit these crimes with total
they
impunity
didn't.
for
No,
years.
actually, they didn't.
So did Democrat leaders
Actually,
like
they
Pritzker
didn't.
and Mayor Brandon Johnson.
About 10,000
Last week,
people were,
independent journalist Nick
caught- or
Sorter was
were
arrested
detained,
just for
rather,
protecting himself
around
against
summer of
Antifa.
2020.
I saw it online and I called Nick.
and
I couldn't believe what
prosecuted him
happened.
by the Biden administration.
He did all this just trying to save our American flag from being burned. He was pushed down and assaulted, yet the local police arrested Nick, not the Antifa thugs who did this to him.
Let's roll tape.
Antifa feels empowered to operate in the
Antifa
open
was doing that
because weak Democrats have turned a blind eye
protest
to their
for
actions.
months, and
Their
then MAGA
hatred
came,
for President
and
Trump
now
and for law
it's
and
violent.
order agendas
Do the math.
fuels their violence. We've seen more than 1,000%,
Our agenda is
1,000%
human rights.
increase in attacks against our
Yeah,
ICE
that
agents
is
since
dangerous.
January 20th. Secretary Noem is out there fighting for you firsthand to keep our federal
We
officers
just read
safe,
about
to keep
how
our
people
federal
feel
buildings
about
safe.
policing,
And we're not gonna have
militarization
it
of
anymore,
police.
These thugs.
I don't think everyone
we saw
agrees
what's
with
happening
you.
in Portland and Chicago, and you saw what happened in Dallas. No longer. This is not activism, it's anarchy. We can't and we will not let mass
in the disco.
terrorists burn our buildings, attack our
Losing
law
all
enforcement,
control.
and intimidate our communities.
I think she is sick.
Under your leadership,
I think
President
she is
Trump,
sick.
we're deploying the full might of the federal law enforcement
Or
to
it's a little-
crack down on Antifa and other domestic terrorist organizations
kidding.
led by Stephen Miller. And Stephen, thank you for everything you're doing.
Nosferatu,
Last week, I
Timu,
issued a memo
Walmart,
ordering our federal law enforcement
Weimar.
agents, DEA, FBI, U.S. Marshals, and ATF to protect ICE
Yeah,
officers from
thugs.
Antifa and
It's
other
all of it.
radical
It's all of it.
left-wing violence. Director Patel has been going nonstop.
the trans
He
hate
and
is being invoked
Deputy Attorney
constantly.
General Blanche were in Chicago
Constantly.
yesterday. While Secretary
Yeah,
Noem was
your
in
fucking
Portland,
plants were
we
the
are
primary
around
building
this
burners of
country
2020. That's
fighting
really
against
fucking
this
true
domestic
meowing.
terrorism. We had Apple and Google take down the ICE
Proven.
block apps. Hope they continue to comply with that. It's threatening the safety.
I hope you didn't get a
of
list
our
of people that
federal law
downloaded the
enforcement
app.
officers. We're not going to stop at just arresting the violent criminals we can see in
How
the
can
streets.
you lead a deal?
Fighting crime is more than just getting the bad guy off the streets. It's breaking down the organization brick by brick.
Oh,
Just
bricks.
like we did with
Get it?
cartels. We're
See
going to
what she
take
did
the
there?
same approach, President Trump, with Antifa. Destroy
Are you gonna blow
the
us if we go in a
entire
boat?
organization from top
There's no
to bottom.
organization.
We're going to take
There's
them
no
apart.
organization.
Thanks to your bold leadership and the designation of Antifa as a terrorist organization, which is
No, I
exactly
didn't know about
what
that,
they
Lauren.
are, Americans will no longer tolerate
Yes,
their
peace, love.
unhinged
The only mass
violence.
terrorists right now are
Thank
the ICE
you.
agents.
Very much, Pam. Christine.
Bullshit.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, and thank
Oh,
you
here
for
we
hosting
go.
today and focusing on
Another Corey
Antifa and the
Lewandowski.
terrorists that they are. Let's not make any mistake. These individuals do not just want to threaten our law enforcement officers, threaten our journalists, and the citizens of this country. They want to kill them. Their agenda is to destroy the
No, we
American
don't.
people
No, we
and
don't.
our
I don't
way
have
of life.
taken a
And this
case for a
president
stupid
is
chud.
standing in their way.
Are you kidding
He
me?
is stopping them from bringing their death and their
Nobody is
destruction
trying to murder
to the
ICE
individual
agents. You've got
citizens in this
individuals
country
that try to
just want
murder
raise
people
their
all the
kids
time.
and their
Fuck off.
grandkids in peace and in safety. I want to also thank everyone around this table for
Yes,
being so
Maureen.
bold and so
It's true.
brave, for standing up and recognizing the threat that Antifa is.
Does everybody
to our
like
way
my
of
Walmart
life.
hair?
By recognizing
They got
how
no
advanced they
extensions.
are, how sophisticated their
Maybe she
networks
should go to
are, how they've
Qatar.
infiltrated our entire country,
Pam
and
Bondi
we're
used to
seeing
work for Qatar.
them
She
play
could
out
go
with their
back.
tactics from city to city,
Yeah.
and how they have built out their funding mechanisms. And sir, I also want to thank
I know we're not
our
signatories to the
Treasury
ICC, but
Secretary for his
maybe
work and getting to the
someday.
bottom of these funding mechanisms and individuals
Antifa
who are
rhymes with
perpetuating this
Antigua,
violence on our American
where
cities.
Pam will
I
escape
was
if
in
there's
Portland
no
yesterday
extradition
and had the
treaty.
chance to visit with the governor of Oregon and also the mayor. They're in town, and they are absolutely covering up the terrorism that is hitting
What?
their streets. While you talked about some of the
tapes
stories
don't
of
lie,
our ICE
bitch.
agents, our Border Patrol agents, how they have been attacked,
Jen.
how they have been shot at, injured, the damage that they've
Oh,
done.
yeah, Wells
These
Fargo's
leaders in these
sketchy as
local
fuck.
cities, along with Pritzker and Johnson, ignore what's going on,
Bubble
or sure, they're
machines,
helping
bottles of
Antifa
water, and
cover it up.
inflatable costumes.
We have arrested dozens of
fucking capybara.
individuals that are Antifa members or
That
affiliated
toad.
with them, and I want to thank our Attorney General for prosecuting them and making sure they never see the light of day again.
What?
They have been so bold in making sure we're bringing those individuals to justice. One of the individuals we arrested recently in Portland was the girlfriend of one of the founders of Antifa.
What?
And that we are hoping that as we go after her, interview her, and prosecute her, we will get more and more information about the network and how we can root
What?
them out and eliminate them from the existence of American society. I want to thank the new journalists here today for telling their stories.
Oh my
and
God.
for being able and willing to go to the streets and to cover what's happening here in America.
Oh.
Many times the legacy media has looked the other way, refused to tell the stories. The networks have not really
I have to tell you what I've seen.
focused
I've been
on
watching
what this is and what damage
Portland
it is doing to our
nightly,
country, and how
basically, for
this
months.
network of Antifa is just as sophisticated as MS-13,
This is bad.
as TDA,
This is
as
bad.
ISIS, as Hezbollah,
This is fucking
as Hamas,
bad.
as all of them. They are just as
I'm going to
dangerous.
stop her.
They have an
Okay, I've got to stop her for a minute because I've got to tell you this. One of the things that's been happening in Portland since the MAGA people showed up, I mean, you can clock it. Fucking watch the tape. I'm not trying to tell you a story. I'm fucking telling you what's been happening on the ground. If you watch the progression of video that comes out of Portland, as I have done, then you will see that the violence only began when the MAGA people showed up. Number one. Number two, and we'll get to them. Number two, they have been, since the MAGA showed up, ICE has been walking, when they walk out of the Portland detention center, you know, when they do their big dun, 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 they march out and do whatever they're going to do. They tended to pick people out of the crowd. I want you to listen very carefully. They went into the crowd and picked people out of the crowd and detained them. And if these are some of the arrests that she's speaking of, I'm going to say this again. ICE agents walked into a public street, and grabbed people and brought them into the detention center. Now, I don't know if all of them were arrested, whatever, but I'm going to tell you right now, that has been happening in the last however long the MAGA have been there, a week, maybe. This is bad. I'm sorry. We can go on with this because this is important. I mean, everything's important, but this is probably going to change. They're trying to stop protests. And they'll go after nonprofit agencies that are like community-based organizations. They're going to kill nonprofits that help poor people. That is what they're going to do. Period. Well, guess what, Jen? I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I mean, I am scared, but I don't care.
Agenda to destroy us, just like
Sorry,
the other
I just
terrorists
hit
we've
her.
dealt with for
Okay,
many,
I'm
many
gonna
years.
stop.
And today is the day that we have a president that won't tolerate it and will stand up and fight for the American people. So thank you for being here, for being so bold, and for
This is a
standing in
big
the gap
stomp
at
on
such a time
General.
as this.
I know it
will
has.
matter, it will make a
I'm
difference,
going to say
and your
right
life
now,
will be one of significance
it is-
because of what you've done today. So with that, God bless you.
this
and
is
thank
a
you, Mr.
change,
President.
Thank you
a
very
sea
much.
change
Thank
that
you.
impacts our
please.
ability to rise
Thank
up
you, Mr.
and
President.
redress
Mr.
grievances.
President, the American people gave you a sweeping mandate in your victory in this election cycle, and they demanded safety and security for our citizens.
Good.
And your
Thanks, Meowing
administration,
Star.
with your
That's good.
leadership, has provided us with the resources that we need, which is a whole of government approach to go after criminals absolutely everywhere, not just outside of this country, but within this country. And that takes a whole of government approach. The interagency seated up here with the Department of Homeland Security, our Attorney General, our Deputy Attorney General, and your White House staffers, including Stephen Miller's leadership, has allowed us to go out there and map out these networks.
What is Stephen Miller
What we are
leader
doing
of?
at the FBI is simple. It does
Oh my
not
God,
require
Pussy
rocket
Bitch is
science.
there.
We are
Holy
following
shit.
the money. Money never lies. And that's what it's going to take to bring down this network of organized criminal thugs, gangbangers, and yes, domestic terrorists, because that's what they are. They are harming everyday citizens in every single one of our communities. And the folks you see here on the right and left, they're some of the bravest men and women
I'm putting
we have
on my
today.
Antifa
They're
hat.
reporting the stories live time because the mainstream media won't cover it. They're putting their lives on the line. They're standing up for the flag. The least we can do is stand up for them. So you have my thanks. I read more of your stories than I do theirs because you guys are putting out the truth. And we
bingo.
deserve a country where
Ding,
you
ding,
are
ding,
protected
ding,
as
ding,
equally
ding,
as they
ding,
are.
ding.
We in this FBI will go after with the criminals with the
this
vengeance.
government
We will
is
not
completely
rest until we find
co-opted
every
by the
single
fucking
seed, money,
extreme
donor, organization, and funding mechanism that
You
we have.
blew it,
And
everybody.
I want to echo the Secretary's comments on Scott Bessent, who's allowing us to map out these networks through their financial criminal activities, which has been
You
going
didn't check my
on for
Venmo
decades.
records?
And
I
I would
buy
like
a
to
ton of
remind the
weed.
American public, they
hope
built
they're
this
not
disease temple
an
of corruption
Antifa
over
organization.
decades. And in 8 short months, Mr. President, you have crippled
Boy, those
their foundation
Trump
because of your
files must be
leadership here,
terrible.
because of the
That's all I'm
interagency,
gonna say.
because of
Those
people
Trump
like Deputy
files
Attorney
must be
General Blanche,
full
and
of
because of
shit.
Attorney General Pam Bondi's fearless leadership to go after criminals wherever
Oh,
they
he's
are.
definitely on
They
meth.
will not be able to hide. They were able to hide and conspire with prior administrations, and we are
Take a
exposing
breath.
their corruption from within. And we will go to every single city in this country under Operation Summer Heat and the other operations we are doing at the
Summer
FBI
Heat?
to bring these criminals to justice. We will arrest every single one of them from
Don't
whatever
destroy your
perch you sit in,
records.
private or public, no matter
Because
how
Nuremberg
your goal
2.0 is gonna
or your
be
ambition
lit.
is, it will be crushed by the Constitution because the American people deserve law and order, and that's what we're going to give you.
Thank you very
Summer's
much,
Eve.
Cash. Great job.
Summer's Eve douche.
Maybe
the
we'll
douche
start
summer.
over here. Would any of you like to say something? Feel free. You can say it in front of a fine group of people, also journalists and reporters.
Who's that? Who's the
You want
blonde?
to start?
Sure.
Go
Look
ahead.
at Pussy
Absolutely.
Bitch is there.
President Trump, members of the cabinet, really appreciate you
that's
guys
Nick
bringing
Sorter.
this together. And the fact that we are here today on such short notice shows how serious you guys are taking this
Makes me
issue
question
of
how much
trans terrorists
you're
and
being paid
frankly,
by
the
Russians,
cities and police
Nick.
departments that are cooperating with Antifa, such as Portland. I mean, the Portland
it, Jane? I
politicians are
didn't hear.
literally willing to sacrifice their own citizens just to appease these Antifa terrorists. It's sickening. I've seen it firsthand, obviously. When I went to jail that night, never expected it to happen. I thought that they were maybe removing me for my own safety. It never crossed my mind that I was the one that was being arrested for a crime after I was just thrown into a hole. I heard from
Jack
the Department of Homeland
Posobiec. I
Security
call him
after I
Pussy
got out
Bitch.
of jail, and
Oh,
one
the
of
burning
your, I won't say
flag.
exactly
Oh
who
my
it was, but somebody very
God.
close
Oh my
to,
God.
Secretary
Oh my
Noem over here
God. Oh my
said
God.
that
I was so
they were
scared.
legitimately
I was so
worried for my
scared.
safety in the Portland jail.
I'm so scared.
But luckily, the Portland jail was, I was the only one there, essentially, because they don't actually arrest people
Oh.
in Portland,
Oh.
besides conservative journalists, I guess.
Oh.
So, look, I'm glad that it was not a good night for me.
Stop
Let's just
yelling,
say that.
Nick.
It was
You
not
have a
fun
fucking-
sitting in that jail,
It's a
but
dumb
I'm
suit. I
glad
hate
to
that
see
suit.
what has come of it. And I've been able to talk
With
to
one
a
night in
bunch
jail.
of,
This guy is an
FBI
expert on-
agents, ATF agents, DHS agents that I didn't even know existed. until I went there and went to
Terrible.
that ICE facility.
It's terrible.
And the morale is
just
at
terrible.
an all-time high. It is so exciting to see.
So exciting.
These guys know now that they have the backing of
So
the
much white
Secretary,
privilege.
the DOJ,
So much.
as well as the President of the United States, and they are there to do their
Yes.
job. They are going to fulfill this mission and deport these violent criminals. I believe one of the ones that I did a ride along
Did he
with,
poop
with
himself?
Secretary Noem yesterday, President Trump.
might have.
And there was a pedophile that had come into the country 5 times over the past 7 years. 7 years. And apparently under the Biden regime, that was just allowed to happen. That was fine. No problem.
Well, apparently under the Trump
It's
regime, it was
concerning
too.
to me that you're seeing the Portland Police Department,
He is
as
a
well as the
provocateur.
governor of
Hi,
Oregon,
Val. Hi, babe.
and the mayor, of course, coming out and running defense for pedophiles that have entered the country illegally 5 times. It's crazy.
Whoa.
I'm glad it's
Somebody
taking
check his hard
a
drive.
front row seat in the media.
Yeah.
And, they're being forced to talk about it in reality because, we're the ones that were on the ground. We're the ones that are actually reporting what's going on. And
There's one
much of the
right
legacy
in
media
front
has
of
been
you.
either ignoring it
Sorry.
or covering for Antifa for years now. So thank you guys so much for taking this seriously. And President Trump, you mentioned that flag.
Because I was
So remember,
really
you put out a
scared.
truth right after
I'm going to give you
I,
this flag.
That's right. I saw that.
I'm going to give
took
you
this flag from that man that was burning it in the
I
street.
saw it. Do you know who he is?
Oh yeah, I know exactly who it is. It's
So why don't you give
Badger's
it to
here.
Pam? Give it to the Attorney General and
Yeah, where
let's
is
start
Antifa headquarters? Because
prosecutions.
I got lost.
yeah. I actually have a second
I think I
flag that
might
he
have
tried to burn
dropped
as
off
well.
the
So I have 2 of them from
Well,
the
you
same
also
guy.
saw what happened when that flag started burning. Everyone went crazy.
No,
And that's
they
when
didn't.
it started,
The
when they
MAGA
started
went
burning
crazy.
the flag. So thank you. If you
The
could give
MAGA
me
went
information,
crazy,
it would be
not
great.
anybody
Absolutely.
else.
And at least
The
that
guy was
horrible
standing
night
off
made
to
me
the.
famous.
Come on now, let's stop this.
You got
He was
something.
already
I got a text from the President of the United States, so I appreciate that.
And President
that's
Trump,
kinda
after that
dumb.
happened to Nick, I called Harmeet Dillon and we opened a pattern and practice investigation into the Portland police very publicly as to how they let this happen.
Wow. Boy.
Thank you, sir.
Mr.
They really
President,
won,
you're
you
gonna- Brandy
guys.
Cruz, you're going to hear us be very fired up today, and you can tell, and it's because some of us have been covering
tell because
Antifa
Nick
for
is
15
yelling.
years and have never had anyone in a
It
position
is
of
not
authority
against the
even
law to
acknowledge
burn the
their
flag.
existence.
That's right.
And I'll also tell you that
They overreacted.
I think that had you not done the single most
by
powerful thing
design.
you've done to deal with this scourge has
He
been
did pull a
acknowledging
flag out
that
of his
Antifa is a
ass.
real thing. I genuinely believe there would be people at these tables who would be dead today
Oh,
and would have
stop.
been killed in Portland
Oh, give
had
me
you
a
not
break.
called them a terror
Shut the fuck
organization
up.
and said we're going to bring the full weight of the federal government to
Shut
bear.
the fuck up, you
I
Russian
talked to Katie
op.
Davis Court in Portland the other day. She'd been assaulted all summer. And she said
All
the same thing.
summer?
It seems
Wow.
quick to violence.
I don't think
as
it's
soon as you
Monica
made that
Crowley.
designation. So
I
they're
think it's
thinking in their
someone
heads.
else.
They're worried. There's been 24 or so arrested in Portland.
Nobody
they
did a
don't
good
want
job
to go
of
to federal
introducing
prison. There's
themselves.
this video of them, one of them who is in the
are all
face of an ICE
idiots.
agent, and then he's
No, it's okay,
he's
peace,
in
love.
custody shaking.
This is about Portland.
Once you take the mask off, they're nothing. And I was told by
What?
probably a dozen people not to tell you this. I'm going to tell it to you anyway, because it's relevant to what we're talking about.
Oh, no.
I'm living proof that you can recover from TDS. I had strong Trump derangement syndrome for probably 8 years.
What?
This is one of the reasons I recovered from it. And by the way, it's
What?
much better to not have TDS. I'm happier, I'm healthier,
What?
more
What is
successful.
happening
I even
now?
think I got a little more attractive.
What is
after
happening
I got
now?
rid of my Trump derangement syndrome. Yes.
What is happening right
I'm a
now?
reporter in Seattle, and frankly, I could not care any less
Who is
what
this
any of you
woman?
have to say about this meeting. Could not care any less. We're not here for you. I'm not here to convince any of you that Antifa is a real thing, because if you have not come to that conclusion by now, you are never going to come to that conclusion because you don't want to see it. And you're going to go and you're going to say
she's
it's
a
a bunch
Seattle
of right-wing
reporter?
conservative influencers who are here spinning a tale. I was one of you. I was a mainstream
it is
reporter in
so-
Seattle for 10 years. I was a
okay.
TV reporter on the streets doing
Okay.
my job, and I was still assaulted by
Covering the bake
Antifa.
sales?
So it's not about being conservative. It's about people who go there and
Yeah,
show
welcome.
what they're doing.
Welcome to Russia.
And when I saw, after all those years, that the media
Yeah,
wouldn't
she's
be honest
profile.
about what was happening, that Democratic politicians wouldn't be honest about what was happening, I thought, well, gosh.
I don't know,
If they're not being
maybe.
honest about that, maybe they're not being honest about President Trump either. And
How
it
many
opened
Q
my
drops do I
mind
have to
just
look up to
looking
find
at
her
things for what
brain?
they were. And now I find you quite funny, actually. Now it's like I said, I'm much happier about it. But, for
Who
me, again,
are these
I could
people?
not care any less the stories that they go to print. This is what I care about.
Well,
we
no,
have
it's
3.5
that you
years.
couldn't care less. Oh,
Nothing
never
is
mind.
guaranteed,
That's
although I
fine.
think if Democrats
That's
keep
fine.
it up, we'll probably have Republican presidents for the next 3 decades. But nothing is
Oh, is
guaranteed,
it?
and so
Wait.
what I want to see over the next 3.5 years is
Brandy
a full court
Cruz.
press to dismantle Antifa
Brandy
once
Cruz.
and for
I know
all
the name,
in a
but
meaningful
I
way.
don't-
I know,
I don't
Andy,
think
we
I
talked
follow
before this
her.
about some ideas. That's really what we want to, I don't care what
She's
the
an
media
internet
says. I don't care
personality.
what Democrats say. They will never wake up to this fact. So we want the federal government to take as many of these cases as possible. Look at the interstate travel between Portland
Oh,
and
she's a
Seattle when
TERF.
it comes to these
She's a TERF.
people who are committing violent
She's a
acts.
fucking TERF
And
bitch.
hopefully in 3.5 years,
She's
they will
anti-trans.
be a
That's
shell
what
of their
she's.
former
She's
selves.
fucking. She's a TERF.
And it's Antifa and many others,
Yes.
unfortunately.
She's a
There are
fucking TERF.
Many others, bad
And
ones.
she does
Most
recruit-
have been
she
named
does groom
terrorist
children.
organizations. There are a couple that
Okay,
we're going to.
so there you go.
I think we've got it pretty well covered, but there are many others. But very specifically today, it's Antifa, and it's really bad. And we're going to get it cleaned up. Andy, do you have something? Thank you very much. I'm glad you no longer
Andy,
have
no, I
TDS.
can't even
feel very good
fucking
about
believe
that.
this guy. You never had
Thank you.
TDS, you fucking
Thank you,
TERF.
Mr. President and members of the cabinet. I
All
have
the
a lot of
worst
gratitude
people in one
and
building,
A little
Jen.
bit about my background. I'm born in
Andy
Portland,
is an
Oregon,
idiot.
from there. And growing up, it's always been left-wing, very progressive. And I liked it. It had cafes and artists and those who lived a bohemian lifestyle.
Yep, fake British
And in
accent.
2016, I was a graduate student at Portland State studying political science. I was an editor at the student paper there, a very progressive paper. And I was assigned to cover the election night demonstrations. Well, the elections night protests turned to riots, 3 days of violent rioting in Portland. And it was the first time that I saw groups dressed in black
guy is
with their
literally
faces covered.
a
This is
fucking
4 years
op.
before COVID.
Agitating
Some
op.
of them
An
were
agitop.
waving the black flag of anarchism, some
I'm gonna call him
the
that.
red flag of Marxism. And within
me a
seconds, they
break.
would ravage
Leninist
one street
Marxists.
to another, to another, to another.
Leninist Marxists.
And
Leninist
the next
Marxists.
day, I would read the legacy media, which I still read at that time and looked forward to, and I looked up to those journalists. And I was really shocked to see that the narrative was that these, in my view, anti-democratic political violence was legitimate acts of protest because people were concerned about racism or all these other lies. And so for the next
this.
4 years, I just
Yes.
continued going out with
Where
my
is
video
that
camera.
accent?
I thought,
I don't
look,
know.
people can ignore what I write because of spin, but videos can
Great
quite
Britain.
speak for themselves. And in 2019, it led to me nearly losing my life.
All your
I was
base are
covering
belong to
another
us. What's that mean?
Antifa
Welcome,
protest turned riot.
Khalil
At that point, had
Alokira.
been
Welcome.
routine in Portland.
A TERF
and then
is
I was
a,
ambushed in a mall
trans
meeting.
exclusionary
And I had
radical
never been in a fight.
female. I know they call it a
realize
feminist, but I don't think
that
that's
was
a
being
feminist
assaulted until
in my
seconds
mind.
in.
So I think it.
And
But they
the
are
punches
they
came
they
from
are
everywhere, on my head
they
and my
hate
face, and
trans
I was
women
bleeding out
and
of my eyes
they
and ears,
are
and then they threw all the
scared.
drinks in my
So
eyes
they
to
launch
humiliate me
incredible
further
attacks
and to laugh at me
on trans people,
And I
and
was
so
rushed
you
to the
refer to
hospital
them as
in a
TERFs.
ambulance and
Yes,
CT
trans
scan, and I had
exclusionary radical
subarachnoid
feminists. Thank you, Mountain.
hemorrhage, which is
I call
bleeding
them
in the brain.
females.
I nearly died.
I don't even know what the
And
F word is.
After
I
surviving
don't feel
that,
like they
the
embody what I hope is the feminist
reporting
spirit,
that I saw in liberal
which is just
media
uplifting
was-
women.
It seemed
That's
to
all.
suggest that
Or,
I
you
had
know, all
deserved
women,
it
because trans women
they
are
branded
women,
me
by the
far
way.
right. And some even
Trans
went
women
so
are
far
women.
as to suggest that I may
We don't need to
maybe
call them
faked
trans
my
women because they're
injuries.
women.
A BuzzFeed reporter asked for my medical records, which I
That's
did
it.
provide.
Period.
But this felt so.
And it's none of my business if
It's
a
like,
child
because I didn't die in that
in
attack.
a family is going through
there was another round of
transition.
people who wanted
that's,
to finish me
That's
off.
literally the last
But
thing
I
that is my
continued,
business.
and then 2020,
last
Portland
thing.
was really the epicenter of the
And
longest
I wish them
political
only the
violence.
best and
Those months of
and a
riots, I was on the
healthy
ground, undercover.
transition
and there was
and a
an
supportive
assassination there.
life.
There was a supporter of Donald Trump named Aaron Danielson who was shot dead by a self-described Antifa member who then
Oh,
fled
shut
out
up,
of state
Andy.
and died in a shootout with U.S. Marshals. In 2021, I returned undercover, naively thinking that enough
really?
time had
It's really
passed.
fucked up. I'm sorry, Oren.
Was chased through the streets of downtown and beaten, nearly choked out.
Oh,
The person who
isn't that an
trying to
erotic
choke me out
term?
held me
Wait,
so
that's an
tightly
erotic
that
term,
I
isn't
had
it?
the blood, the vessels in my eyes burst. So one of the symptoms were my eyes were completely red.
Andy,
after
no
that,
one
and I
cares.
was hospitalized. So
then you shouldn't go to those things.
thank you so much for
How
acknowledging
do you end up
Antifa,
getting beat up all the time?
and for directing your administration to treat them as domestic terrorists. It's going to be really challenging because how they organize is
okay.
that they are
I don't know what that means then.
decentralized, autonomous,
Oh, this
and they
presser
operate
is the group
on
there. There you
deception.
go. Hi,
And we're still
gal.
to
This
this
also
day told
happens
that
when you
they
cry
don't
so hard
exist, that
about
it's
your
a thing of our
feelings.
imagination. I think the DOJ could look at federal
I forgot.
conspiracy charges.
I forgot that.
The state of California and San
Here we
Diego
go.
County last year broke up an Antifa cell in San Diego. And
Okay.
I think maybe perhaps the State Department should designate Antifa its international arm as a foreign terrorist organization, FTO. So thank you so much for this invitation, Mr. President.
We don't think
Thank
it
you very
should.
much,
How about
Andy.
that?
Great. That's a rough time you had, huh? So the chokeout was almost the end, you thought?
So tell me about the choke
Yeah,
out
that
again.
was my only near-death experience in my life, and I'm quite shaken when I think about it now.
This is so dumb.
it-
I'm sorry. If
It
you
really
don't know,
feels
Andy knows
unbelievable to me
history.
that
You
on
can
the streets of
Google or
America that this type
DuckDuckGo
of
it.
violence against
It's
citizens
not
could
good.
become so routine
He's a
and
dick.
accepted and cheered on by people. Although, in the immediate aftermath of Mr.
I don't
Kirk's
know,
assassination,
Jane. I'm
we
not
saw
sure.
again that type of depravity
check.
play
Hold
out
on.
on quite large swaths of the left. So there's
I
a
don't even know what
deep
you're saying,
sickness
Andy, because
that's
it
in
just
this
sounds like
country
blah,
right
blah,
now.
blah,
And
blah.
it pains me a lot to acknowledge it.
Yeah, the amazing thing is you look at Portland, and you see fires all over the place. You see
I mean,
fights
yeah,
and-
violence is
I mean,
bad.
just
There's no
is
violence
just
being
so crazy. And
perpetrated
then
by
you
fucking
talk to the governor, and she acts like everything is totally normal. There's nothing
Antifa.
wrong. It's almost like, are you waking up from a dream or something? You
Shut
see
up.
it on your network. You see it all over the place, and it's so bad. It's so crazy. It's like the movies you see for the
10
kids. I
hours
guess not
ago,
only
yeah.
the
Oh,
kids,
wait.
adults also, where
Hold on.
you have these bombed out cities and these bombed out people. It's like worse than that. I don't think they could make a movie as bad. And then the governor will get up and say, I don't know why they're coming here. It's such a wonderful place. And the amazing thing is the people want us to be there. The people, when they get the real people that live there, many of them have left, but the real people want us to be there. The same
Hi,
thing in Chicago.
Esmeralda, how are you?
They've had
This
60,
is on
70
Antifa.
murders over a short period of time. Murders.
It's the Antifa Haters
People that got
Club.
shot. They've had hundreds of people shot. And then a guy like Pritzker,
We're not invited to your
or
clubhouse.
this low IQ mayor gets up. I mean, he got up. He's got a 5%
I'd recognize
approval
the
rating.
diffident and
And
yes,
the people are all against
Gorkaberg.
him. They want people
Yes.
to come.
It is a
Beautiful
Gorka
black
bird.
women are wearing a
He's from Gorka
MAGA
bird.
hat last night on television. Beautiful people. And they said,
There's no
we don't
fires.
care who comes, just stop the crime. They don't care, frankly, they don't care if it's National Guard, military.
Shit, hold on.
Send in
Oh,
anybody
man,
you
God
want,
damn it.
stop the crime. And they're afraid to go out. They can't even go out. And then a guy like Pritzker, think of that, 50, 60, 70 people over a short period of time murdered, actually murdered, mostly gun violence, but knives, but gun violence, they're murdered, and hundreds of people shot. They had one weekend where they had like 18 murdered and 71 shot. But they said, you know what their excuse
Which weekend
is?
was
Yeah,
that?
but it was a long weekend. In other words, it was a long weekend, so that was okay. And
What?
then Pritzker
Nobody
gets
said
up and
that.
he says, like,
no, but that didn't happen. Just so
I don't
you
know
know,
what they're
that
talking
didn't
about. We don't
happen.
have crime here. They're crazy. I think actually they're petrified. You know, their families live there, everything else. I actually think they're scared. Pritzker was a
No, I
failure
think
in his
you're
family.
scared.
They threw him out of the
I think
family
you're
business.
scared. Hi, Kleber.
The guy's a loser. But you know
Hey.
what? They actually,
I
I
got all
believe
my
they're scared.
sisters with me.
They're actually frightened for their
Ooh,
lives.
We
Jack,
are
please say a few words.
family. I got all my sisters.
Mr. President, thank you so much for having us here today.
Which one is
and
this?
holding this.
This is Pussy Bitch?
This round table.
I'm
Antifa
Jack
is
Pussy
real.
Bitch.
Antifa has been
Let me see if I
around
can
in
find a
various
funny face for
iterations
Jack
for
Pussy Bitch.
almost 100 years in some instances, going back to the Weimar Republic in Germany. And it's now been just under 1 month since we saw a far leftist murder Charlie Kirk.
Oh, he's in
And
mourning.
we
I
saw
get it.
thousands upon thousands of people.
He was
other
not a far leftist.
leftists
I
and-
think
and
we're not
people in
really sure
positions of
what drove him
authority,
because,
people
frankly,
like-
he had
like
all kinds of
nurses and
shit
pilots
going
and
on,
doctors and
which,
HR
frankly,
departments
shouldn't matter.
Celebrating the death and the murder of Charlie Kirk. This sickness that's out there is absolutely real.
By
And
the
Mr.
way,
President,
MAGA
thank you for
influencer
mentioning
Jack Pussy Bitch voted in
fact
Pennsylvania while allegedly
of the bullet
living in another
casings
state.
read,
So
"Hey,
you illegally
fascist,
voted,
catch on it."
motherfucker.
One of the other bullet casings
Voter
right next to
fraud.
that
Hey,
had
voter fraud,
Bella
pussy
Ciao
bitch.
written on it. Now, Bella Ciao is a song
She's
that
got
is known in
a nice
Antifa
rack. I'll
circles
give her that.
as the international
Sorry.
anthem of Antifa.
You chose to be
and all of us
MAGA.
around the
I didn't.
around this room that
Wait,
have
I need a
studied
funny
Antifa,
picture
we're very
of,
familiar with these
funny
symbols.
face.
And Mr. President, I think the situation is getting worse. When you look at people like Luigi Maggioni, in his 20s, Thomas Matthew Crooks, of course, who took a shot at you, sir, the ICE shooter in Dallas, and now this Tyler Robinson, we're starting to see a pattern
No, we're
of
not.
more and more murderous violence.
No, we're not.
And this same violence
Oh, I like this
is
picture.
not just
Getty, go fuck
random.
yourself.
It is targeted assassinations, which are getting worse. And every single one of us
Wait,
in this room
I know how to get around your
that
shit.
goes out there, and
Hold on.
obviously you as well, sir, and
This is
all
important.
the staff.
I know it's ridiculous.
We are now under that threat every single day. And working there at Turning Point USA, and
Sorry.
I've spent just about the last month out there
Thank
in
you
Phoenix
for
with
doing that.
Erica, with the family, with the team.
Please click the
And I will
like,
tell you this, Mr. President, even though going through something like that, which is an absolute
Hold
nightmare.
on, wait, where am I? Okay, wait.
People say,
Hold
what
on.
was it like to speak in front of all those people? It was horrible. Every second of it was horrible.
Were you there
But we're not
when
going to
they
quit.
crucified
And Turning Point USA
my
is
Lord?
continuing the tour that Charlie was on.
Were
We had
you
6,000
there
people when we
when
went
they
back to Utah. We had
crucified
5,000
my
people last night in Montana, if you can believe that. We are continuing to organize on campus. We are getting more and more people coming out in the face of this threat, knowing what happened to Charlie. But Mr. President, we need to do something about this, because I fear that the next
Hey,
one
pussy bitch, I got a picture for you. Hold on.
who could be killed could be sitting at this table right now.
Who
And
could
we're not
be
gonna
killed
stop,
is
but
sitting
they
at
need
the
to stop, and they will
table,
not stop
yeah.
until they are stopped.
Thank you, Jack. I appreciate
What?
it very much.
Well, you weren't.
One thing
Did you
I have to say
die?
is that Washington,
Did you
D.C.
die?
was almost as
No.
bad. I don't know what could be worse than Portland. You don't even have stores anymore. They don't even put glass up. They put plywood on their windows. But most of the
Everybody has
retailers have
plywood
left.
on
But,
their windows in Portland? That's weird.
Washington, D.C. was so bad.
That's
and Pam,
weird.
I'd say it took 12 days
There's
to
pussy
really make
bitch.
it pretty good.
Wait, what about
and a month
me?
to make it great. And
What
now
about
people are going
me?
out to dinner. The restaurants are booming. They don't have enough seats.
What
They're
about
opening
me?
up new restaurants because many of them closed. And people are walking down the
What
street
about me?
totally safe. A reporter, I'm not sure if she's there. I can't see somebody reported there. She is. She was violently assaulted. And I don't know, she tends to be somewhat liberal, but
100
she
years
wasn't
include the
liberal on this
American
one. I
anti-fascist.
appreciated
You know,
your
the ones who
honesty, but,
defeated the Nazis?
you
Yeah,
won't-
I
that won't
remember
happen
them.
again. It won't happen again.
I knew
You're
a
lucky
couple
you're
of them. Actually, I
alive,
never met
frankly,
my
with what
uncle,
happened. I know
obviously, because my
exactly
uncle died in
what took
World War
place.
II
So,
fighting
Washington,
Nazis.
D.C., our capital, we thought we'd start there appropriately, and
So
it's
there.
safe, and people are so happy. They're so happy.
How happy?
And now it's a couple of months. I went to dinner there. I felt totally safe. I gave a press
No,
conference
you
right in the middle
didn't.
of the street.
You had to have
which
security
I'm not-
because
don't think
people were
Secret
yelling
Service
at you
was thrilled
because you're a
about, but,
dick.
You know, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have wanted to do it 6 months ago. It's incredible what happened. Now we're in Memphis, as you know. We're having a great impact in Memphis. It's been
What's going on
only
in
a week,
Memphis? Has
but it's,
anyone-
Cash, I hear it's been
I have not heard
amazing
a peep
what's
out of
happening there.
Memphis. Are they okay?
Just very early. But
Are they
you take
okay?
a look
Portland
at
ICE
D.C. and you take a look
ply-walked,
at some of the other. We've had a
walled
big
over
impact
their
there.
windows and
What
walls
we
because of
haven't
all the
said,
signs
because
protesters
Pritzker said, well,
plastered in
crime
the
is
windows.
going
Can you
down
see
in
the
Chicago.
N-word?
Well, 5 months ago,
Hey,
Cash
fuck
went to
around and find
Chicago
out.
with a lot of
That's
FBI
all.
agents just
No,
to
his
prepare
fucked
it,
up hand is
so
not
that we went in
visible.
with, I guess you could
Jen,
call it
I
a
did
surge,
look.
call it whatever you want.
I don't see it.
But would be even more effective.
He has it.
And
He's jerking
we're gonna
off
be
under
doing
the.
that and very,
you know.
very strongly doing that because Chicago is a very unsafe city. It's a great city. The head of the Union Pacific Railroad said, "Sir, please."
I can't
save
believe we're here
Chicago. It's
either,
a great
Gal.
city. It
I
can be
really
saved.
fucking
Other
can't. And I've
cities are
been
gone.
saying, you
I mean,
and
they're
Jim
lost.
Stewartson.
They can get better.
I
but
know
they're
you.
just
You
really,
called
they've been
this.
so
You said
decimated.
this is where we're headed,
But,
folks.
I'm so proud of what
Strap
they've done
in.
so quickly in
And a
DC.
lot of people
and
said
it's
it. I
taking
get
place
it.
quickly in
But you guys are
Memphis,
my
where we
besties.
were asked to go by the mayor and by the
And I
governor.
trust your work.
And it's really incredible.
And here
what
we
can do
are.
and how
This is
fast we
why
can do it.
Jim Stewartson was
Let's go
silenced.
for 2 more.
This is
Would you
why
like to go? And then Katie, you'll go. Okay,
Suburban
please.
was
Thank you, Mr. President,
silenced
for having us
and
here.
doxxed
and,
and
not
threatened.
to sound like a broken record, but
That's
it needs
why,
to be
because
said
they
that
needed to get
Antifa
here.
is real. It's real. It's a threat.
And I'm
I
not
just saw 'em
saying
last
that
weekend,
any, not
over in
everyone, but
Portland while they were
excuse me,
causing mayhem
Jim
over there.
Stewartson's the only one in a
And
fucking
the
court of
reason why
law
there's such
right
a big
now
problem is because
fighting
we have
for free
Democrats and a lot
speech.
of people in the mainstream media refusing to acknowledge that they even exist, right? So how can we as a country
So,
begin
yeah,
to address
if you don't
it
like
if
Jim
we have large
Stewartson,
swaths of,
there's something
these
wrong.
people who are supposedly
Then that means
decision makers
you're
and the
not
people who are
supporting
supposed to
free
inform,
speech, because that's
they don't wanna
really all
say that
Jim
it
was
exists.
doing. Give me a fucking break.
You know, because the common argument is like, well, they're not a real organization because there's
Then
no national
you've got a
leadership.
problem.
They don't have a national headquarters. So how can law enforcement go after a group that doesn't exist like that?
Well, is this the guy who pretends to be
law
former
enforcement goes after
Antifa?
criminal groups that organize to rob banks or do smash and grabs. They don't have a
I
registered
put up
LLC.
something on
They don't
him the
have
other
official
day. If it's
membership
the same
cards. They
guy, I don't
have,
recognize him, so
you know,
he changes
a
his
business
appearance
address,
a lot.
but law enforcement still goes after them because they're working
I know.
as a group.
Well,
These people
because
don't just show
there's a
up,
group
you know,
of people meowing
randomly
Star
at the
who
same
want to
time do
suppress
the
what
same
Jim and
thing,
Gal are
dressed
saying.
in a very similar
And they
fashion,
take real
espousing
steps to try and
the
make
same
it happen.
ideology. And they say, well, it's an ideology.
And right
It's
now,
like, well,
Mike
yes, it's an
Flynn is
ideology
suing
because
Jim
there's people
Stewartson.
alive, present, that believe in it, and
Oh,
they're
he's a
acting
Nick
on
Sorter
it.
friend. Okay.
And so I've been very well aware of
Yeah,
what
he
Antifa's
is. He's
been doing. I
explaining the
was very busy,
psychological piece and what
during the riots in
motivates, right?
2020.
Motivation.
That was probably my most exposure to them prior
I
to
don't
this
know.
year.
I just don't get it.
You know, I've
never have
been
understood
at the ICE facility at Broadview. I'm
You
originally
don't have
from
to
the
agree with
Chicagoland
him,
area,
fine,
unfortunately,
but you're gonna
that's where
like fucking
that's where I grew
fuck
up
with
around.
them? That's bullshit.
Like I said, I was
They
in
fucked with
Portland. I was
me. They
covering the
fucked with
riots
Gal. They
in
fucked
Los
with
Angeles
Jay.
as
They
well,
fucked with
and,
Clay.
probably
They fucked
one of
with
the most
Tina. They fucked
disturbing,
with all of us.
Parts about that is, in addition to Antifa being present, they were tagging the streets with CJNG, which is
It
Cartel
is a
Jalisco
problem. You're
Nueva
absolutely right.
Generación, which is a cartel. So you have these people who are
absolutely.
working basically in concert with other
So true. This is
terrorist
not
groups
an
to say that we're
isolated
here, we're present,
situation,
and we're gonna
Meowing
attack
It's just the one that
federal
I've been
agents
exposed
and
to over the
people who
last few years.
are going to
So
expose what
totally
we do.
true.
And so, to be clear, political violence, sustained political violence that we're seeing in this country is not a both sides issue. I was
Really? You were on
I was at
you
Charlie
in
Kirk
Portland
Memorial,
for an hour?
in Glendale recently.
Who is
Conservative
it?
gathering, totally peaceful. It was the most peaceful gathering that I've been at. Every other time that I've been covering violence in the streets, just this year, forgetting.
Oh my God.
Just this year, it's always been from left-wing people.
I know.
radical
None of these people
left-wing
and their
people.
ideas are
And
new.
It's not even
They
just
pull
Antifa
from the
anymore.
same Nazis,
The
and
shooting that
fascists and
happened
white
in,
supremacists
the defensive shooting that happened
that
in the Chicago
tried and
area.
failed before them. That's right.
That
They will
wasn't
fail
someone dressed in
again.
Black bloc.
I
That
agree.
was just somebody
He
that
is lying.
had taken upon
He's a
themselves to
fucking
go
liar.
out and
Bullshit.
try to interfere and ram.
And the tape's gonna. Someone
federal
needs to
vehicles.
do like a montage of like
people are
3
becoming
months.
more and more radicalized, and it was to be expected, unfortunately.
Meowing, have a good
And the reason why
visit.
we're in this position today is because after I was done covering the riots,
I'm hyped.
I was at the
I'm
border.
ready to go out there.
From
Well, actually,
San
I have a
Diego
lot to
sector
do this
all the way down to the
afternoon,
Rio
but
Grande Valley
then I'm
sector,
ready to go out there.
covering the border crisis month after month, and we all knew the solution to that. We all knew why it was happening. It's because, well, it's racist to have a border. It's like, well, actually, it's not, but
That's
okay.
not what people
And so
say.
it required you to come back into office and to fix the problem.
not
but
what people
It's no
say.
longer just a border issue. It's a nationwide issue, and that's
My poor
one of the
neighbors.
reasons why
They're probably so tired of me.
you
I'm
got
sorry,
elected back into
neighbors.
office because thankfully the American people said we're not going to deal with it anymore. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people, as we've seen, who are willing to take to the streets to do violence.
Who are willing
And,
to take the
that's a
streets to
scary
stand
thing
up for other people's
because
rights.
Typically,
Get it
when
right.
I was in 2020,
Don't get it twisted,
I was
bitch.
covering Minneapolis, Los Angeles, Portland, Seattle. I was over in Chaz.
By
And
the
that
way,
was to
I
be
talked to
expected.
Bobo at the break. She says hi.
But now, because the issue of immigration, illegal immigration, is so widespread,
She's going to
riots can
bed.
happen
It's
anywhere.
time for her bedtime.
Attacks can happen anywhere. So that's why it was weird, kind of going back to my home state to cover this violence. I mean, just after the Dallas shooting, they were chanting outside Broadview, "Shoot ICE." Shoot those, efforts. Shoot those efforts.
MAGA has
So I'll just leave that. Thank you so much again for having this. This
trying to
this
forget
is very dangerous. We don't work for companies that have billions of dollars. We're running and gunning often on our own. We became friends. A lot of us are friends because we would see each other all the time, and we became friends because we wanted to have someone watch our back while we're out there. Because, like I said, we're just out there. And but we'll continue to do it because it's an important topic. It's an important issue. The American people deserve to know what's happening in these chaotic situations, and we're more than happy to do it.
So thanks. Great job. Thank you very much. Katie, please.
Maggots, they are crying.
Hi, Mr. President. It is an honor being here today. And I first
wore
wanted to
a
start by thanking you
low-cut
guys
dress
for
to
designating Antifa a
present
terrorist
my
group. It's exactly what this group is. It's a long time coming. I'm an investigative journalist from Seattle. I work for the Post Millennial alongside Andy No and Jack Posobiec.
Wait, you have to see
I
her.
have been infiltrating
sorry.
Antifa
I mean, she wore it,
cells
so I mean,
in
no,
Seattle
I'm not
and
trying
Portland
to.
for the
well, I
past
guess
decade.
I am. I won't
know
do it. Anyway,
their inner workings, and Antifa uses
Whatever.
extreme political violence
I'm not trying to be that
crush
girl.
the civil
I'm not gonna
rights
try to
of
be
their
that
political
girl.
enemies
It's
and
Katie
believes that violence
Daviscourt.
is justified by any means necessary. But today, I want to focus on what
Why'd you
is
turn a
happening
page without looking
in
at it?
Portland at the ICE facility. I've
What
been
the fuck?
covering this for the past 4 months, and this is a call out to corporate media.
Look at my Amazon
who has
hair.
completely ignored this story or has
Where's my Amazon
falsely
hair? Wait,
reported
hold
on it. This is nothing short other than a sustained attack on the United States, which is being supported by Democratic elected officials. The Portland Police Bureau has completely abandoned several blocks outside the ICE facility, giving away their jurisdiction to a terrorist group who has spent the past 4 months harassing, assaulting, and intimidating anyone they perceive to be against their cause. Not only have federal agents been relentlessly assaulted for more than 100 consecutive days, black-clad anarchist militants concealing their identities behind black facial coverings have been assaulting reporters just for trying to cover their crimes. Today, I am sitting here with a black eye and a concussion after being violently hit in the face with a metal pole
this is Amazon here,
while
but it's not
reporting
the
outside the ICE facility just this past week. After the attack, I immediately went to three Portland police officers who refused to detain the suspect. I took the time to chase down the suspect in the streets, had her held for 35 minutes. I was waiting for Portland police to come, and they never came. Then that's what opened to my eyes to what this group is actually doing. I watched 20 Antifa militants help my assault suspect escape into an Antifa safe house that is 1 block away from the ICE facility. And this safe house is where Antifa affiliated protesters are conducting paramilitary operations. It's where they're arresting, they're showering, they're eating to continue this occupation. I have staked out this safe house and have observed
safe house?
changes. This group is highly organized. It is being funded through mutual aid groups, and they have no plans of stopping. Residents living across the ICE facility have been held hostage by Antifa. They're begging for federal intervention. The city refuses to help. And they want you, President Trump, to come in and restore law and order.
They don't.
I want to stress the importance of taking this situation seriously, because when I first started reporting on this occupation, I went undercover in Black Bloc. I talked to these Antifa militants.
There's
I lasted
no
for about
way
a month. They believe
this
that ICE agents are the Nazi Gestapo who need to be killed. They told me that directly, and I think that if this situation is not taken as seriously as it is, it's just a matter of time before someone gets killed. And thank you for having me.
Thank you, Katie.
And thank you for having me. I'll see you later in your office.
The only question nobody can answer is why. Why are they doing this? They're like insurrectionists. They're terrible people. But you really wonder why. Why are they doing it? What are they gaining other than they're obviously paid? They're paid a lot of money. Go ahead, please.
Mr. President, if I can answer that question, the reason why they're doing it is because the same media that's sitting in this room with us has declared all of us at this table Nazis and fascists, and they've been doing this for years. This is why Antifa feels emboldened to attack us. Now, almost every single person at this table has been threatened with a steel bat.
Why do they hate
fascism? We've been assaulted, we've been harassed, we've been threatened, and that is in huge part due to the media. So my message right now is for you guys.
Who are you?
Because 2 years ago, or back in 2020, by the way, I was censored for my reporting on Antifa here in Washington, D.C. You were talking about how safe it is now, Mr. President. It wasn't so safe back then. Back in 2020, I watched as a father was being mobbed and surrounded by Antifa members as his terrified, crying children looked on and the police here did nothing. I watched as a woman had her hair violently ripped out of her skull simply for waving an American flag on the streets of Washington, D.C.
Fuck off.
And by the way, if you guys try to go and find any of this footage, you won't find any of it because Twitter deleted all of it because our president shared my reporting and they deleted my entire account immediately after. So now, if you want to know what happened in 2020.
You're telling me that Elmo didn't save your account? Are you kidding me right now? Oh, I'm a chud. I'm not a werewolf. I'm a chud. Ow. Mark Burnett did this. I did a whole show on Mark Burnett once. He didn't get attacked yet in Portland, so.
All you're going to see is the media headlines that said that it was fiery but mostly peaceful. Thanks for that one, CNN. The reality is that it was an extremely violent period of time, and for the
Shut
last
up,
10
you
years,
big fucking
Antifa
loser.
has been wreaking havoc on law-abiding and
That's why
innocent
they aren't
American
able to find the
citizens,
footage,
and
'cause
it
Elmo
needs to
took
end.
over.
Now, I'm with Turning Point USA. It's an honor to be here, Mr. President. Thank you guys so much, everybody in the
We're
administration,
better,
for
yeah, I
giving
agree.
us a seat at the table, because the media has not only been demonizing us for so long, but
Demonizing
immediately
Gus
after
or
the
the
brutal
Lorax.
assassination of our founder, Charlie Kirk, our Turning Point USA chapters have seen an uptick in violence across the nation as Antifa chapters that are embedded in our universities go and target them. It's been extremely difficult to report on the ground, and for a long time I was afraid to go to Portland because I knew that the only people who would have my back, like Julio said, were one of my friends on the ground
that I
because
would
there was
never get
no
served
police
at the
force there.
cafe.
I was terrified to go because I knew if I got shot
Wreaking
or stabbed,
havoc,
and I
yeah.
have been assaulted, I've been mobbed and robbed in Austin, Texas by Antifa, that nobody would come to help me. So my plea to the entire administration,
This is so
especially to the DOJ, is every
This is
single
happening.
radical
That's what kills
left-winger
me.
who is in front of the ICE facility
Winger?
in Chicago,
Sorry, I'm
in
not
New
trying to make
York,
fun of, like,
in
how she
Portland,
talks.
please make sure that you use the full force of the
mean.
law to come after each and every single one of them, because it is us being soft on left-wing violence that has
Whoa.
fomented all
Hey, it's the violent right,
the
okay?
terror that we have seen in this country, and
I'm
it is the
living
left wing
proof.
getting away time and time again with assaulting law-abiding American citizens that has led us to this place. So
bullshit.
truly,
You're stupid.
to the
You're
Americans
lying.
that I speak to on the ground, they feel completely
fucking lying.
abandoned by
No,
their
they
state
don't.
and local government. So please step in. You have Americans begging for the National Guard, and to the media over
No,
here,
there's
please
actually
report on the
not.
truth. Please do your jobs. I'm an American citizen. Everybody at this table simply views
God, these people are
ourselves
so
as American
stupid.
citizens who have an iPhone
And they
and the will
won.
to actually tell the truth. So please take your job
It's the
seriously
streamers.
and tell the truth to the American people.
Oh my God.
And thank you
Mike
for letting
Flynn
me
is
be
so
here on behalf
proud
of
right
Charlie
now.
to continue his legacy of cleaning up the country. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you
Cleaning
very
up the
much.
country.
Appreciate it. Wow, you feel very strongly, I can see.
I'm mad. I got beat up so many times, Mr. President. My friends have gotten beaten up, and I want to cry right now from happiness because we have been completely ignored for so long.
Wow, this
For
sounds like
almost
North
10
Korea.
years, we've been getting
This is North
assaulted on the
Korea.
streets. I have watched children cry.
This is North Korea. We are now in North Korea. This is North Korea.
As their parents have been attacked on the streets. That should not be happening at our nation's capital.
Welcome.
So please, again, the DOJ, please utilize the full force and go after each and every single one of these people.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Great job. Impassioned. That's important
Bullshit.
because you should feel like
Fine.
that. Please, go ahead.
You're a rage actor.
Mr. President, thank you for having us here and bringing
Thank you.
together this panel of brave journalists. Everybody on this side
Can
of
we
the room.
point the camera at their
And,
fucking name tags?
No one can speak to the violence better than these
Fucking
people here.
Associated
so,
Press.
I think we know that this is not just a story about violence and chaos, as you alluded to, Mr. President. This is a money story.
Warren, I can only
And at the
imagine how
Government
veterans are
Accountability
feeling right
Institute,
now,
My colleague
and
and
active
I, Peter
military.
Schweitzer, and I, and our team, we follow the money, and we followed it to the
I
top
cannot
of
imagine
what we call the protest
having a
industrial
conscience
complex,
and being,
Riot
like
Inc.
having to follow.
And
It's
we
just
found a network of
heartbreaking.
NGOs. It's not just the Soros Network, the Open Society Network.
really?
It's other
Which
funding
NGOs is
networks.
it?
The Arabella Funding Network, the
Oh,
Tides
really?
Funding Network.
Oh, the Tides,
Neville Roy
okay.
Singham and his network, Foreign Cash. And it's also big left-wing funders. Some of them are not citizens of this country.
Okay, let me just tell you a little bit about some of those foundations. Okay, Open Society, Tides, Arabella. Arabella has some problems, but anyway, we won't go there right now. But the problem is that I know those foundations. I know them very well. I know those organizations. I have gotten grants from those organizations. So I am very, very familiar with them. And let me tell you also about how nonprofits, including these foundations, report. Because your inbound money and your outbound money are reported on a 990, which is a tax return that the IRS then looks at. And every nonprofit, including those foundations that they mentioned, have to adhere to the Patriot Act, have to do reporting on certain amounts of money coming from certain sources. All of that is done in the open. There is nothing behind the scenes. Now, granted, maybe, in the what's his name? Bill Gates Foundation, he did fuck around. So there was probably some stuff going on behind the scenes. But I'm going to tell you right now, from a logistic standpoint, from what they supported, the programs that they funded in the communities, I know that. I know who those people are. They're anti-fascist, but they're also doing a very specific mission, and they are very accountable to the public through their public 990s in terms of who their donors are, who they give grants to, all that stuff. All that shit is fucking in there. So it is time for journalists to tell the truth about why is that such a very, very bad lie? That's what I would say. Why is that such a bad lie? Because it is completely mischaracterizing and lying about the way these foundations work. And I'm very scared that they're going to kill a lot of community-based organizations that receive money from those foundations that depend on that money to pay their staff, to buy the materials, to drive to the outreach sites, to care for victims, to do all the things that they're doing, to run community fairs, to run community policing fairs where you bring police into the community to kind of build partnership or whatever. That is what those fucking organizations are doing. So this is an attack on poor people. That's what this is. Oh. How do we get here if Antifa is so fucking dangerous and organized? How? I know they're going to invoke the Insurrection Act. This is silly. This is one step closer to that. If not his announcement at the end of it, which I don't know. Again, who is the one? Is it the State Department that makes that designation? Because no one has actually made the formal designation that Antifa. What the fuck?
Country, Mr. Hans-Jörg Wyss of Switzerland. They're pouring money into this entire ecosystem. And so I want to share 3 money facts with you about
they
what
do.
we
They
call
support
Riot Inc.
pro-democracy.
Like any corporation, Riot Inc. has many divisions. It doesn't just have the Antifa boots on the ground division. It has PR divisions. It has marketing divisions. It has a very well-funded legal division to get these boots on the ground back on the streets as quickly as possible. But it does have those investors that I...
All nonprofits have those things. All nonprofits seek legal counsel for everything. All nonprofits have marketing in some way, shape, or form. Usually it's the least funded, by the way, but you try to get your message out there. Okay? So that's a marketing thing. So this is not sexy. Okay? They're trying to make it real sexy and real scary. It's not. I've done it. I did it for 22 years. I worked in nonprofits in California, New York, Washington, D.C. I know this world. This is wrong.
Mentioned. Number 2,
this is basically like ending USAID here in the United States.
Not just the decentralized Antifa.
That's what this is. This is like this is the impact of ending USAID in the United States. That's what they're accomplishing. This is bad. I mean, everything is bad. It's not a contest.
Organizations, but dozens of radical organizations that have received more than $100 million from the Riot Inc. investors. These would be the lawyer groups. These would be the groups that advocate for calling good, honest Americans fascists, etc. And then 3, I think the most shocking thing is that we have found that more than $100 million in U.S. taxpayer funding has flowed into these funding networks.
Here we go.
Including at least $4 million to these very groups themselves, not just Antifa types, but there was an event in Atlanta called Stop Cop City. Over 60 rioters were charged with domestic terrorism. These groups received money for that from both the billionaire class as well as taxpayer money.
Okay, prove it. Prove it.
One other thing.
Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it.
This money helps fund the decentralized crowdfunding platforms.
Bullshit.
These are ways that Antifa, the John Brown Gun Club of Elm Fork, which had links to that attack on the ICE facility, the Socialist Rifle Association.
What connections did they have to that? What connections did they have to the guy that shot at the ICE facility? Okay, we're just making shit up at this point. We're just making shit up.
Because they don't have LLCs or EIN numbers doesn't mean they can't get paid. Some of these funding platforms,
really?
crowdfunding platforms.
Okay, let me tell. Okay. Oh, crowdfunding. Yeah, crowdfunding. Any dipshit can put up a crowdfunding. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't have an organization, foundations don't give to individuals unless they have a specific plan that does individual grant making, which is very unusual, by the way. Very hard to get grants for individuals. Okay? That's not what foundations normally do. So yeah, people raise their own money to do what they want to do. That's a thing. J6ers did it.
Are funded by this network.
I'm just trying to really nail the fucking
again,
lies.
I want to thank you for your leadership, for the whole cabinet's leadership on this. We're going to keep following the money and
Where's my hot dog hand?
Appreciate everything you're doing, sir.
Do you know the name of any of the funders? Do you know the names? Because if you do, I'd like you to give them to Cash or Pam.
Absolutely.
Or Christy.
Yeah, we'll do that.
As soon as you can. That's all of you. Because you probably know the names after a certain period of time. You tend to find out. But these are people that do not have good intention for
sprawling
the
hunt
country.
for Kirk Critic. Oh my God. He's dead.
Treasonous, probably.
It's over.
So if you could, very important.
Get
if you
over
could
it.
Do that.
The fuck your feelings
it would be,
crowd.
Great. Nobody would know better than you. You'll figure it out. Thank you.
Ooh,
Please go ahead.
Yeah, my name's Nick Shirley. I'm 23 years old. I'm 100%
Nick Shirley is a fucking
journalist.
asshole.
And over the past year or so, I've been able to go to 15 countries. I've hung out with people in the gangs of Brazil, in the favelas, in the prisons of Secot. But yet the most dangerous places I have been here in the United States, unfortunately. And I've had the opportunity to show people about the protest Antifa here in the United States.
No, you
and there's
haven't.
nothing
You've
organic
instigated
about
shit,
what
you
they are
little
doing
fucker.
here in the United States. I've watched people be busted in from
fucking
states.
dick.
I've watched the
Bullshit.
same lady at a protest in Atlanta be bused to the protest in D.C. and
Yeah,
then in New York
that
City.
happens. People go to.
There's
Oh my God.
nothing that is
normal.
honest about what they are doing.
Oh my
and
God.
they have
Oh,
signs.
yes,
I've
I
seen the
will,
same
Oren.
signs here in D.C. and in London as well. It's a big organization and corporation that they're running. And people may wonder, like, what's the threat to us as Americans if we go? Well, you'll be labeled as a fascist, you'll be labeled as a Nazi, and they'll wish death upon you because they wish death upon me.
Oh,
And
stop.
just last week
Nobody
in Portland,
did.
Oregon, I watched a lady get trapped in her car, surrounded by Antifa, and her sister messaged me after seeing the video. She said, the only reason I think my sister was safe is because you were there recording. I also
didn't see
was
that.
chased out by
let's
a
talk
member of
about
Antifa who
TPUSA
said he would
buses.
smoke me. And next thing he knew, a DHS sniper had lasers on his chest. If
Yeah.
he was not there, who knows what would have happened that day. These people are very
I saw that.
dangerous, and people wonder
I don't think the guy said
how
I'm
they're
going to
able to
smoke
do
you.
it. It's the
I
reason
hear
is
that.
because these cities are not enforcing the law. And why should these people be worried if the law is not being enforced? And we are not far right, nor are
Yes,
we
you
far
are.
wrong. We're just right. And the truth about what's happening here in America with these
Oh,
groups
so funny.
is very dangerous. And I thank you, Mr. President, and your administration as well for acknowledging that.
Yeah, you should see the buses full of weeping
too bad you
Catholic
have to
school
go through
kids
it.
with
I know, it's
trauma,
very
porn,
much.
abortion signs
Well,
every
you're going
damn
to get
year.
to the
Yep.
bottom of it, so it's a very important thing you're doing. Thank you very much. Please,
Crazy.
Ken.
This is a crazy world.
Yeah, I've just got something very short. I'm attacked every time I do my job. When I leave my house to go to work, I am violently assaulted. I've had guns pulled on me. I've been bear sprayed. I've been beaten down. I've been almost killed. So my question for all of you is, how would you feel if every time you showed up to work, masked militants tried to kill you?
Oh,
'Cause
give
that's how
me
we feel.
a
That's our
fucking
lived reality.
break.
And you guys go and tell us that we're liars, the riots aren't that bad, right? I've never seen any of you guys on the
I've got
ground.
it.
In fact, I've never seen anybody representing the companies you work for on the ground. You guys come to us for interviews that never get published. Stop saying we're lying. We're not. We risk our lives every day to do the job that you guys are too afraid to do.
I think this needs a little music.
What network would you say is the worst, if I could ask?
Oh man, that's a real tight spot.
Honestly, it's a simple question. And
Well, there's a lot of people in this pool, and I would say I'm not talking about Fox. I'm not talking about Newsmax or any outlet that resembles them. So I'll let you guys put the pieces together on who I'm exactly
who would
talking
you
about.
say, which network would you say?
MSNBC for sure.
Oh, they're terrible. I agree. They're
CNN,
terrible.
probably close. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rate it that way. Yeah, MSNBC. That's Brian Roberts.
Yeah.
Brian
that he
Roberts,
allows that to
who's
happen
he?
is a
So
disgrace.
specific.
Absolutely.
And CNN is second.
Yeah,
I would
second.
say CNN is not quite as bad as MS.
MSNBC is not
What
really a
about
news
others?
site anymore.
Oh, MSNBC is sick. They're sick.
Well, sir, it's
who
also
else?
just the stories that they publish.
I think one of his
about
friends
what's
works
the
for
ICE enforcement operations that are so heavily slanted that it's no longer, as I was saying, no longer just Antifa, but Americans that are becoming radicalized. So they've been very
Is Antifa on
irresponsible
4chan?
with how
I
they've
don't
been
know.
reporting
Who
on
is
it.
that?
Suppose, I don't know.
MSNBC, for example, they're
Would you rate them the worst?
probably.
Who would you rate second?
Well, they ran a story about an operation in Southern California about how a father of 3 Marines was arrested,
Yeah.
and they made it seem like they just did it because he's brown. But there's video of that same man charging at the agents with a weed whacker. Now,
Okay.
I've worked with weed whackers.
Okay. Oh, wait, that's Psycho. Okay, all right. Let's unpack that a little bit. Yes, I thought he was going to say something like, he was never a Marine, something like that. No, they did. They scared this man who was a gardener, had 3 sons who are active duty Marines, and he tried to run, and he was holding his weed whacker. He tried to run, and they got him, and they threw him to the ground. So actually, it was absolutely horrible. Absolutely fucking horrible. That's right. It was down in Santa Ana. So, fuck all these guys.
Back in the day, and you don't want to be in the receiving end of one of those. So that's why he was arrested, but the story was presented
That's why
as
he
if
was
it's a brown guy just simply
arrested?
being arrested. And I've been around ICE agents, and
Why'd
I'm a
they
citizen,
chase him
so,
then? Why'd they chase him? Why'd they chase him? Why did they chase him then? If his only crime was that he attacked them after they chased him. So I'm confused. Why did they go there in the first place? See, your story isn't matching up. And this is the problem. A lot of these people, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm sorry to repeat, this entire movement has had their head up their collective fucking asses since 2015 at least. And what they now do is they think that when they say what they say on Real America's Voice resonates with that audience, they don't know that in the real world, the audience is going to go, excuse me, what the fuck? And this country is not, I don't think this movement, this bullshit MAGA movement is ready for the amount of what I would call normies, people that aren't like tapped into like social media shit. They are not responding to what MAGA is selling. And what MAGA used on Real America's Voice, no facts, very, just wild lying, that worked for them so long that in their heads, they think it's going to work in the real world. Now, granted, it's working to some degree. Don't get me wrong, because the infrastructure hasn't really caught up with how to address massive disinformation and mind fucking. And that is actually what is happening right now. And I can't even believe that we haven't. I mean, here's what I think should happen. And I know this is probably unrealistic, but I think what happened in like Italy, I think it's Italy. In fact, I'm about sure. The trade unions in Italy are the ones who called for the general strike. And I think there is something valuable in the trade unions like SEIU, AFL-CIO, right? All of those movements. I think there is a lot of power if the union leaders help stand up and call for general strike. Now, I don't think that's real. I know I'm probably dreaming, but I think that for this country, the union leaders could help create a mass response that we cannot on the ground create necessarily. Does that make sense? So anyway, that's what I'm trying to say. Nobody wants the National Guard. They think they do, but then when the National Guard is really standing outside when you're coming out of the porn shop, they're not going to like that. When they get called out on whatever CSAM they've been surfing, they're not going to like that. When the government actually comes for their guns because it's not safe during an insurrection, period for people to have guns, they're going to hate that. And it shouldn't have to happen to them to make them care about it, by the way. That's ridiculous. It's because it happens to anyone, your neighbor, people you don't even know. I think that if union leaders were engaged in a general strike conversation, it could be a huge change maker in this country. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk about resistance. Back to the show.
I feel fine, but it's just that's why. It's not just Antifa. It's not happening in a vacuum.
That's perfect.
No, it's working in conjunction. I think they work in conjunction with
Those
some
types
of the
of
media.
Great thinking,
I think
Jane.
ABC is very bad. I think NBC is very bad. And CBS has a new owner, so we have hope for CBS. CBS has a great new owner,
CBS
my
folded.
opinion. But I will tell you, ABC is terrible. NBC is terrible. NBC's MSNBC too. You know, they changed it. They moved it over
Is Tylenol
legally
suing
so they
the
couldn't
administration?
be
What the
tainted
fuck
by
is happening?
the words MSNBC, but they are absolutely terrible. There are a lot of them. What about independents? Independent networks.
They're a little bit better, but I would say that we're an example of how you don't need to be part of a super large company to be able to do just basic journalism. All you got to do is sit and record, and you'll let the story play out, and that's
not
why
what
they
you
hate
do,
us. That's why
though.
Well, I
Antifa
watched
targets us.
a level
That's
of
not what you
dishonesty
do.
that's incredible, where answers are changed. Like just before the election, an answer was changed by Kamala. She gave a horrible, death-defying, election-defying answer, and they took the answer out and they replaced it with another answer that she gave 5 minutes later, having to do with a different subject, but at least it wasn't election-defying. No, the level of dishonesty with the media is incredible, whether it's on Antifa or many of the other groups. You know, you're talking about Antifa, and I know that's close to your heart because that's the one that's most affecting you, but there are others that are as bad or almost as bad as Antifa, having to do with different people, different sections of the world, but it's terrible. We're not going to let it go on in this country. We're not going to let it go on. And a big problem is not all of them, but some of the networks out there. And you do wonder why. You really do. Okay, please. Go ahead.
There's more of them?
Mr. President, thank you again.
Thank you.
My name is Jonathan Cho. I am an investigative reporter for Frontlines Turning Point USA. I'm also a senior fellow at Discovery Institute in Seattle. And I cover far-left extremism as well as the homeless drug crisis in America. And I find it oftentimes those worlds intersect. And hot off the presses, what I wanted to bring to your attention today is a report from a Capital Research Center here in D.C. in conjunction with Discovery Institute. They just put out this study right now. And what it shows is that Antifa is heavily embedded in the homeless and housing nonprofit sector. In many cases, the homeless industrial complex is running cover for Antifa. Antifa is benefiting from American tax dollars, and they're essentially being used as the muscle. Let me give you an example. There's a group called Stop the Sweeps in many U.S. cities right now. They get in front of encampment sweeps. What they're doing quietly is they're bringing in Antifa militants to manufacture a crisis.
Okay, Jonathan, hold your thought. Okay, what he also just said that caught my ear was that he wants to go after the nonprofits that help homeless people, and that agencies that help homeless people, like food banks, stuff like that, maybe housing support, maybe counseling, I don't know. He hasn't defined it yet. Where did all those homeless people with military training come from? I don't know. But anyway, he's lying. This is all a lie. And he's going after nonprofits that do really good work in the community. And that's going to make me really motherfucking sad. So, and I understand what you mean, Oren. It would be up to, that's the thing. I wonder where the leadership of these different unions could be at in terms of a general strike. So perhaps the economics of it need to get more impactful for unions to actually say, hey, wait a minute, you're hurting our workers. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't get it. I don't know how that works.
make the police look bad. Another group right now that is behind
Oh, they do a
Antifa
good
and
job on
working
their
with
own,
Antifa
bitch.
very closely, based on the research that we have right now that we're going to give to you and your team, are the Democratic Socialists
Flynn is delaying
of
his
America.
case.
Also,
here we go. An update for Jim Stewartson. Flynn is delaying his case with Jim because they're not yet set up to arrest Antifa. So is another delay? Wow. Okay. It's his suit. Does he want to do it or not? Like, Jim's ready. Fucking hell. This is stupid. This is a way to just bankrupt Jim is what it is. That's what it is. It's to make Jim get legal support to fight this bullshit. That's what it is. I mean, let's say it again. Mike Flynn is the one who brought a suit against Jim Stewartson. If you don't think that that is to silence Jim, that Jim is absolutely hitting the target, then you're crazy. Because who would put that much money to sue someone for this long unless it's to silence them?
known as DSA. Again, these far left progressive groups tend to be
Are
aligning
very valid
themselves with
groups.
Antifa. So finally, in closing, I
and
wanted
Kash
to thank
Patel
you
is
again,
also
Mr.
suing
President,
Jim.
that a few months ago, earlier this year, you put out an executive order on homelessness and the drug addiction crisis in America, and that's sent the entire homeless industrial complex
Judge me
on
by my
the
enemies,
run. You have
period.
absolutely moved the needle and changed the game. But what's also come out, again, is that there is a connection, a deeply embedded connection with the homeless housing nonprofit game in America, connected to Antifa and the far left activists. And finally, I just wanted to say
right,
that
Val.
all of our resources at Turning Point USA and Discovery Institute are at your disposal, and we will continue again to carry on the legacy of Charlie Kirk. He would have wanted us to pursue and chase the story.
Well, he was a good friend of mine, as you know, and he helped us get elected. It really is
Oh,
us.
yeah, he did.
It's
Yeah, he
even some
mind
of
fucked
them,
the
but not
youth.
too many
Yeah, I
of them,
get
not
it.
enough of them. And did you notice when we mentioned CNN and MSDNC, the cameras went off. Two of the cameras immediately went off, but they're not going to
How
cover
do you
it
know?
anyway. The problem we have is that this is a very important
guess.
meeting, but you'll
I
see
think
very
all
little
homeless
press
people are
about
Antifa
it. These
secretly.
are major statements being made by major people.
They're just dressed up.
including the people right here, and you're not going to see too much about it. They don't like to cover this kind of thing. So it's very dishonest what's going on.
Living
there.
on
I
the
think
street as
press
extreme
is
undercover.
a big factor. Please, go ahead. Thank you, James.
Mr. President, thank you so much for having us all here to bring attention to this matter. You did mention MSDNC, CNN, a handful of those other outlets that have been lying about, various things.
Come
but
on, say
especially
Lolo's
what
Lounge.
ICE,
Say
brave men and
Lolo's
women
Lounge.
over at ICE have been doing.
Come
I
on.
was talking to Antifa members in Portland the other day, and a lot of these people genuinely
introduces
believe
themselves.
they buy these lies, and they genuinely believe that they're fighting
Obviously.
against literal Nazis and not brave men and women that are putting their lives on the line to basically,
no. Taking a
enforce
paycheck to
basic
work out their own
immigration law,
fanicies.
right? That everyone seemed
Thank you for your attention to
agree
this
with
matter.
up until maybe a few years ago, a handful of years ago. So once again, thank you so much for having me. My name is James Klug. While my primary job is
James
traveling
Klug.
around the country, having conversations with Americans about various political topics and issues, I have had a lot of run-ins with Antifa over the last 5 years. And I do think that Antifa is a primary reason why many conservatives are
think you
afraid
need the
to
union
go out
leaders.
and protest and make their
I
voices
think that's
heard
a
and maybe
key.
bring friends and family to a demonstration and exercise their First Amendment right, because they are literally
We need the
deathly
fucking,
afraid. I talk to these people all the time. They're afraid of
what the fuck are those
militants
guys?
showing up in black bloc and hurting them and their families. And I have witnessed, I've
Who are the
personally
other ones
witnessed
that-
Antifa assaulting hundreds of police
Teamsters.
officers. I've
We need the
witnessed them
Teamsters.
firebombing police departments and federal property. I've witnessed them making death threats against federal agents, police officers, journalists. I think I've witnessed every single person here, maybe not personally, but I've
Who you
seen them
gonna
get, hunted down and attacked.
Bash busters.
And
no,
so,
wait. What are we? Antifa busters.
This is a group that is
okay, I could do
responsible for a good
Yeah,
percentage, if not a
conservatives afraid to
majority,
protest?
of the
Oh,
violent
no, they
riots
just
in
attacked the
2021
Capitol.
and 2020 when Democrat mayors had a kind of a hands-off approach with these left-wing militants. Just as a quick reminder for everybody, we're talking about dozens of murders that happened in those riots. We're talking about billions of dollars of damage to property and communities all over the country. We're talking about thousands of officer injuries. So this isn't just like some little thing that they're, you know, oh, they punch a journalist here or there. No, they're responsible for a lot of damage. And a lot of people that have, you know, unfortunately died, and
dozens.
Basically suppressing people's voices, you know. And so what I did want to talk about is to get this footage, almost every single person in the room here, to get this footage, you have to go undercover because you are at risk of being beaten or worse. You have to go undercover.
None of you have gone undercover.
Film low-key
I watched
to capture them committing crimes. This is stuff that the mainstream media was
so
not
what do you
doing
have
and
evidence
has not
of?
been doing. They'll show when Antifa is maybe, it's a little bit more peaceful, and they'll show when it's more mellow, but they'll remove the cameras when things get violent and it's actually dangerous to be here.
But there's random streamers there.
I've personally witnessed legacy media vans.
There's random streamers at these events. Stop it. None of you could go undercover. That's right. No one would accept you. Are you kidding me? Amazon here walks in an Antifa meeting? Give me a fucking break.
Showing up at a riot
I don't know.
300
I've
yards
gotten stuff
away,
because we have an
getting out of the
election
vehicle,
coming up.
filming for 30 seconds, saying something like, you know, fiery but mostly peaceful, packing up, and to add insult to injury, you have Democrat politicians that are saying it's just an idea, right? That's all this is. So it's just an idea. After all of this chaos, it's just an idea. Well, that idea has threatened to kill me and many of my friends that are here today.
Stop yourself.
Mr. President, thank you so much for bringing this to the forefront.
Break.
And it's definitely making a big change.
Nobody's
really
threatened to kill you. They beat the shit out of you because you're provoking
there are numerous
them.
groups. I mean, Antifa's
Guess
terrible,
what?
but you have other groups that
And you know what?
I guess probably are almost.
The people that I saw in Portland that got decked and hit and knocked unconscious were on the Antifa side. So give me a fucking break. You guys are the drama. Period. You're the ones provoking violence at these events. Period. Everything is fine until you show up.
As bad or just as bad. Not one other group was mentioned. I'm sort of surprised at that. You just come into contact with Antifa? It seems to be that you mostly come into contact with Antifa. Please.
There's a lot of overlap. And I would say that, for instance, Jonathan brought up the Democratic Socialists of America. They're basically the same thing. I mean, there's a lot of Democratic Socialists of America who are out there in black bloc, you know, hiding their faces. And so I think we use, and I do understand, for the record, I do understand the challenge, as Andy pointed out, with Antifa as a graspable entity. I do. But at the end of the day, when you look at behavior, you prosecute behavior, right?
Teresa.
We're not prosecuting
Lolo,
ideas
Antifa
or
member here,
ideology.
late as
You're
usual.
prosecuting behavior. So
Womp
whether
womp.
you can prove that this amorphous thing is Antifa or someone has a patch that says Antifa, it doesn't matter. You know, did they assault someone? Did they?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you can prove that they're Antifa. Listen to what she just said. It doesn't matter if you can prove that they're Antifa. Yeah, never mind the environmentalists and the vegans and the Quakers.
Assault a federal agent? Were they engaged in rioting? What is it? And so
it's making it nebulous so that you
they're
can
always
arrest
using
everybody.
that, oh, well, they don't
You
call
can arrest
themselves
everybody.
Antifa, even though some of them literally do.
You don't
It's called
need to.
Rose
You don't
City
need to worry
Antifa.
about
How long has it been around in
pesky
Portland,
facts.
Andy?
Since 2007.
They call themselves Antifa. In Seattle, I was outside the federal
So what?
building.
I
and they
call
were
myself
yelling,
Antifa.
There's no
That doesn't
police
mean
here.
that.
This is Antifa land. And then the same time, Democrats,
Anti-fascist.
like our governor, oh, Antifa is an idea. But yeah, I think Antifa can overlap with a lot of other entities and organizations.
So go after everybody.
Very good. Thank you.
You know, President Trump, I just wanted to add this real quick because you were asking which mainstream media outlet is the worst. What I think, it's any of them that decided to call Kilmar Abrego Garcia Maryland Dad. Because when I'm out there on the street talking to these people, you know, they call Maryland Dad is
Nick's so mad.
He's actually a human trafficking MS-13 gang member that's illegally in the country.
Mr. Garcia, you should sue this guy for everything he owns.
That thought that he was a U.S.
We can burn that
citizen
suit.
that was being deported to Uganda is dangerous. These people genuinely believe, based on what comes out of the garbage standing over here, that you guys are deporting U.S. citizens. So that's what's causing
the governor like.
Oh my
in
God!
Chicago.
This guy is so bad.
Have,
I knew he was
Illinois,
bad,
which
but
is
he's
in a lot of trouble.
even
Chicago's
worse when
there.
you give him a microphone.
You know, potentially a great city again. It's not great now, but it could be great again. That's why we have to get there
I don't
soon,
want
because
them to
eventually you can't
federalize.
do
They're
that.
doing it, you guys. Okay, they're
What
doing
makes
it.
a man like
oh my
that
God!
say that
Oh my
things are
God! I'm
wonderful?
so glad
Why
my
doesn't he
dad is
say,
dead. Oh my
We
God!
love that President Trump is going to come and help us clean up Chicago and make it safe again, as opposed to fighting us and pretending that there weren't 50 murders and 200 shootings and all of that. Why is that? Go
Why
ahead,
are we
Nick.
surging military costs into cities?
Despite
Why?
the administration, that's simply what it's about at this point. Because if you go
Antifa
and talk
hunter.
to some of these citizens, like I'll use Portland as an example again because I've been there for so long now. You talk to the neighbors that live in the apartments next door to the ICE facility.
Have you talked to them?
There are veterans
talked to
with
them?
PTSD that live
Have
there.
you talked
and
to
they're here
them?
all night long.
I haven't seen you talk to
screaming,
them.
Fireworks being.
I've watched. I haven't seen you talk to them, Nick. When did you talk to them, Nick? Because you didn't put that on. You filmed everything else. You filmed everything else, Nick. Where's those interviews? Because I saw people on their balconies supporting the protest. Excuse me? Excuse me? So go fuck yourself. Just go fuck yourself.
Lit off by these rioters, children crying because they, can't sleep at night and they're scared of all the noise outside, and they can't leave. They can't. I mean, they got a lease. You can't just leave. These people aren't wealthy individuals, and that's one of the major problems here. And these people are afraid to come out and speak out. And they're getting no help from their government at all. They've been begging for the noise ordinance to be enforced outside of their apartment complex for months now, and the city of Portland has ignored them every single time. The victims are, as I said, they're afraid, but the governments aren't doing anything because they want to spite the administration. It's all political.
And the politicians make you feel like you're foolish, like there's something wrong. Like, how could President Trump be saying that about Chicago? And yet the night before you see that, 11 people were shot, 5 people died, and you have him talking about like it's a wonderful situation. They make you feel guilty. And a lot of people don't get over that. They just don't get over it. I think they convince the people. Do wealthy people leave too or not? Places like Portland, are the wealthy people leaving? People that can leave, are they leaving?
I think that they're moving to the areas that have been gentrified. I mean, the Oregon governor, when she was saying, we don't need Trump here,
what are we
she's
talking
walking
about?
around. It's a very tight shot, if you notice that. And she said, Portland's just fine. Look at me. And they'll focus on the couple areas of Portland that are very nice.
That, and there were explosions in the background.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, there was a reason they cropped it in.
Wait.
Explosions.
Wait. Whoa. Whoa. Wait a minute. A lot of things just came out. I don't know. Was it the governor they were talking about? The mayor? No, he's conflating so many weird fantasies right now. Okay. She's talking about the mayor doing a tight shot, saying everything's fine. And then he's saying, and there's explosions behind her. I don't think that didn't happen. Yes, Orrin nailed it. Stephen Miller is pumping his brain with this bullshit. And that's all he does what he can hold on to, and then he just blurts it out. I just can't even believe what's happening right now, and that this is where we are.
In the background. Anybody have anything else to say over here?
That's not true. Turn your microphone on.
And then should we be
dipshit.
taking questions, or is it just a waste of time? Because they can ask questions, but, well, there's Brian.
Oh,
He's
it's a
good.
fake video.
But you know what? In a way, it's a waste of time because
he's not having the press ask questions because they're fake.
If you give a horrendous answer, or even if you give a great answer, they make it sound like it's not a great answer. They're very dishonest. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, and I think part of that dishonesty comes from what they see. For instance, I've never been asked to go on any other show besides Fox News.
Yeah,
My clips
well.
go viral everywhere, but they've never even asked, like CNN's never asked.
There's a reason,
NBC's never
baby.
asked.
There's
a
a
lot of times
reason.
when I go to hotels, I'll stay
There's
and
a
I'll watch
reason.
like MSNBC.
Fortunately, their ratings are terrible.
They are terrible.
MSNBC is dying, and CNN is dying like a dog.
And
Poor CNN, it's so pathetic.
it is very
You
pathetic.
ever see their anchors in the evening? Nobody ever heard of them. Where do these people come? I could take
Well, I guess
anybody
you're
off the
watching.
street in
Why is he
Washington,
watching
D.C. that do a
then?
better job.
How does he know?
Yeah,
I don't even know who the people on
these days. You
CNN
really
are
have
because I haven't
an
watched
post
it.
on X.
They don't believe in the star system. Yeah.
So how did he do
One of
that?
those things, right?
How does he know
Okay,
who's
Nick,
on
you
CNN
finished,
if he
Nick?
doesn't
Oh,
watch
you
it?
finished, Nick? Good
How does
job.
that work?
Thank you very much.
'Cause I don't know
You've
who's
been
on
through hell,
CNN, but I
tell
don't
you
watch
that.
it.
But you're really incredible patriots, incredible people. Go ahead, please, Brian. Brian, go ahead.
Brian.
Tintin. Right now, and I'm very grateful that my network, Real American Voice, has partnered up with many of you. Jack is so big. You have a show on a network. Many of you, Savannah, have appeared on a network as well. So thank you for being here. My question is this: in terms of following the money, I would just notify that the city of Austin is cleared to vote tomorrow to basically waive a $120,000 fee so that a No Kings, basically an anti-Trump rally, can occur in their city. They're bypassing the fees.
Yes, October 18th.
Rolling it to the taxpayers. So my question
October
is to you,
18th.
what can the people of Austin, Texas do right now to make sure that their tax dollars don't fund a No Kings anti-Trump rally coming up?
Well, you just tell me.
I'll be there, bitch.
Do something about that.
Don't you
Bring a
dare.
Lawsuit, do something.
I don't even fucking care.
The best thing you
Don't
can
do
do is
it.
have honest elections, because the elections are totally rigged in so many of these places. You take a look, the people, they're all loving you. They can't breathe. They love so much, every one of them. You don't see one negative. Then all of a sudden you lose the election by
Wait, what?
20 points.
Excuse
the
me,
elections
what?
are so rigged, and we proved that in 2020 more than any other time. But even the last election, there were areas that I won by much more. We won in a landslide, but I actually won in more of a landslide than we thought. I said, you got to get out, make it too big to rig. And fortunately, the people made it too big to rig. They tried. But the biggest thing you can do is have honest elections. If you don't have, and you need great media. You need borders.
And tariffs. And
You
tariffs.
need borders. You need honest media. You need honest elections, and you have
I
a
got
great
a good one
country.
for you guys.
And you need all three of them. Yeah, go ahead.
Lieutenant had ties to a lot of these radical groups that you talked about inside here. So thank you for removing.
I would like you to make a big deal, though, if they're waiving a fee, but I guarantee they wouldn't waive it if it was. It's not Trump. If it were a conservative rally, they wouldn't be waiving it. So maybe you can look into that, Pam. Todd.
Mr. President.
That sounds like one for Todd, Pam. Go ahead, Todd. Good luck.
There's proof that Antifa actually infiltrated on.
Who are you?
I am with
What network?
I'm with Al Arabiya. It's an Arabic network based in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. But I am the foreign ruler today. Mr. President, you said that you might go to the Middle East on Sunday. Do you mean Egypt and Israel? And would you consider going to Gaza to see what things are on the ground?
I would. I might do that. I may do that. We haven't decided exactly. I'll be going to Egypt most likely. That's where everybody is gathered right now.
Good to know.
We appreciate that very much.
Here we go.
But
Get ready.
I'll be making the rounds, as the expression goes. I probably will.
Mr. President.
Go ahead.
Just to clarify, you said you might go to Gaza. You're saying that's
Who
the
you
first
with?
topic. I'm representing.
Wait,
the DD
actually, I
pool, but
want
I'm
him to
with
be
NBC,
above.
so-
Hold on.
That's too bad.
Okay. Well, just to clarify, you said you might go to Gaza, and then the second question I
Here we
had
go.
earlier today, you said the mayor of Chicago and the governor of Illinois should be jailed. Have you asked the
I'm the
Justice
best.
Department to
This is
look
the
at
best
possible
news show on the
charges?
internet.
I've seen
Fucking
them
hell.
all. And
Why do
when
I
you
only have 24
a
viewers?
group of people, the police call off the
I should have hundreds of
safety
viewers.
for ICE officials. I've understood that, and I've read it today in numerous
You are-
journals.
I am Antifa.
That's illegal. What they did is
Hi, Kim.
I guess it
How
was
are you,
ICE
sweetheart?
fisting,
I'm
right?
so
They were
sorry I
under
didn't see
threat,
you come in.
And the police were helping.
I should.
beautifully,
25,
and it was
JFK
fine,
coming in
and then all of a
strong as number
sudden,
25. I
a
love you,
woman,
JFK.
Was
Hi.
on the line saying, "Everybody,
Do you like
move
my
back, move
Tintin,
back,
Brian
get out,
Glenn
get out."
mashup?
And they were given.
I
notice
do
by
have the
second
best
person in the
25.
police
Oh, fuck
department,
yeah, I do, James.
And the governor knew about the men
Oh,
knew about it.
yeah.
I
There might be a
understand that's
couple of
criminal
chuds in there, but
offense.
that's fine. They like to watch.
Do you want to comment on that, Christy?
Yes, sir, we're seeing that kind of pattern happen with local law enforcement and state law enforcement, not just in Illinois, but also out in Oregon, too. In fact, in Portland, I was there yesterday, but some of the ICE officers were telling me that as they drove by the rioters that were saying, kill ICE agents, Molotov cocktails, melt ICE, that the Portland police were...
They were not saying that. They were not saying that. And the Portland police were on it, man. Hi, Josh. The Portland police came in right after shit. Fuck this shit. ICE is the violence. Period. Full stop.
Cheering them on and had their fists in the air cheering on the rioters that were threatening their lives. So in Chicago, we had a 10-car caravan.
No, they didn't. The police did not cheer Antifa. No, I don't see JD or Rubio. The police, this is all fucking lies. And we're getting, there is going to be a sea change, I think, when the Insurrection Act is passed. Because he's going to do it. And no one's going to stop him. Yeah, they all downloaded a French rap video.
Trail our ICE officials and pin them down, and those ICE officials to get out of their vehicles. A woman tried to ram them and run them over, and they shot her. Fired to get them to safety.
But you know what?
So it's happening on a regular basis.
But you know what? The woman who was shot, what I read, and there may be new reporting, but I read that nobody knows if she had a gun or not. Nobody no one has shown that she was holding a gun. No one has shown any evidence that she rammed vehicles. But you know what they did mention? They mentioned that she had been known to them as someone who follows ICE, things like a lot of us do. We follow like what we're, we follow where ICE is going to be. And sometimes, if you've seen the video that I played, one of the TikTokers, who's hilarious, she plays like fast versions of her following ICE all day just to kind of fuck with them. She doesn't get in the way of anything. She's just pointing out to the community that they're on the street. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is a ridiculous set of lies. This is the biggest decline. Oh, thanks, Lauren. Thank you for the information. Did they kill her? I thought she was wounded. But they shot into her car. Okay? An American citizen. That should be a much bigger deal than it is. So I say lies until you prove to me that she did what you say she did. And even then, that's excessive force.
And any elected official that allows this to happen and gives cover to those kind of individuals who are perpetuating murder should absolutely be prosecuted, in my opinion.
Oh, Daniel.
Thank you, Mr. President.
And by the way, we have Marco Rubio. Marco,
come
on
he
up
is
here,
there.
Please.
Oh, shit.
He's going to bring a little stability to this group.
Okay. Marco Rubio is there. And please note the thread that Gal has dropped, which talks about ex parte Milligan and limits of martial law. So thank you for that share, Gal. I don't know if that was that Ziggy? Are you kidding me? Clayberg, was that Ziggy? Zigga? Oh, I think she died. But I also, what? I can't, I don't know what's happening right now, but it is Ziggy? Oh, he blocked me on Telegram because I kept pointing out that he was stalking young women. So I kept pointing that out to people, and then all of a sudden he blocked me. I don't know why. Yes, darling, you can say ramparts. I like to ramparts. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. I'm totally kidding. I'm not that person. All right. Anyway, here we go.
Come on up. Does everybody know Marco Rubio? Is there anybody that doesn't? Some of the reporters don't. That's why they shouldn't be reporters.
Which job is he here for today,
Come
sir?
on up here, Marco. Anything we should know about the Middle East?
That's what we're hoping to talk to you about here, Mr. President.
He's doing a good job. He was born for this job, I can tell you. Daniel, please.
Mr. President, thank you very much. I have two questions for you, if that's okay.
That's
Seamus
true.
talked
Good
a little
point.
bit about the money aspect of this. Do you
Yeah.
believe if you go after
I think it's true. I think it's quite notable that our entire squad has been blocked by nearly all of these fucking asswipes. You're right, Gal.
It would help.
Over the
I don't
target.
know that it would be totally complete, but it would
I know,
certainly.
meowing. How are you
you'd
doing,
knock out
meowing?
75%, 80%, 85%.
We're talking about
these
ramming
people,
parts
a lot of them
now.
don't believe it. You know, when they, I watch them, I say, I can almost tell a pro by, they're like
definitely you,
professionals.
Jay.
That's all they do. And they
You
get
were like
paid
the
by
first
somebody.
block in many
I think it would
cases.
knock out
You
a
and
lot
Gal.
of it. Yeah, not all of it maybe,
Well, and
but a lot
Clay.
of it.
A lot of the people who we've listened to,
I'll never forgive
they've emphasized that
Gal for
Antifa,
fucking
it's
Patrick
not
Byrne.
necessarily this big organized thing. It's a bit ambiguous. It's deorganized. I think that's one of the words that Andy
You
used.
forgot about
What is the
Ziggy?
challenges of going after a group that makes it intentionally difficult to go after? And
Because
find?
it doesn't
That could be for you,
exist.
Attorney General, anyone up there.
Well, they're smart people, and
We should hire them for the
deceive.
administration.
A lot
Wait
of
a
them
minute.
are crooked people. A lot of them have been staying out of trouble their whole lives, and they've
Speaking
been bad
of
from the day
crooked.
they were born, frankly. But these are sick people. Pam, go ahead, please.
Well,
It's not
they're
a
smart,
group.
they're not smart enough.
Yeah, sorry for
They-
McBurn. Thank you so much,
my
Gal.
microphone's broken.
Gal got us all
They're
blocked
smart,
by
but they're not
Patrick
smart
Byrne when I
enough.
was just about to get him on my
They
show.
have been covered by these
It's
liberal
okay.
cities for so many years. And that's why we're all working with Treasury, with all these different departments to find the criminal conspiracy.
What happened? What happened, Marco?
I'm just giving.
Hold on.
Yeah, I was just giving.
This
a
is
note by
crazy nuts.
The Secretary of State saying that we're very close to a deal in the Middle East. And
You're
they're
very
gonna
close?
Need me,
That's news?
pretty quickly. So
What does
we'll
that
take
mean?
a couple of more questions.
And then what? And then you got to go poop? What?
Please.
Thank you, sir. I also have two questions for you, if I may. Have you given any more thought to possibly suspending habeas corpus to not only deal with these insurrectionists across the nation, but also to continue rapidly deporting illegal aliens?
Yeah, it's suspending who?
Who?
Habeas
He doesn't know what
corpus.
that means.
I don't know. I'd rather leave that to Christie. What do you think?
No, that's not Christy. That's
No,
fucking
sir,
Pam.
I haven't been a part of any discussions
That's
on that.
Pam. That's a Pam thing.
All right, go ahead.
In the ceasefire
This is
negotiations.
CNN speaking, by the way. So,
Are you
this is
personally
one of
participating?
the worst reporters that you'll ever. I don't even want to take a question. It's a waste of time. Go ahead.
How will you decide which workers get back pay and which
If I
workers
were-
do not?
Well, we're going to see most.
If I were another reporter who he went to after he shut that woman down, I would say, I'll defer to my colleague. I would. And make him have to choose yet another person. This is the way it's going to be.
Some are going to get back pay, and we're going to try and make sure of that. But
Some of them will get back
them are
pay.
being hurt very badly by
Yeah,
the
just
Democrats,
ask her a
and
question.
they therefore won't qualify.
Good idea, Warren.
Go ahead, please.
What will the administration do to foreign Antifa organizers and funders who are located
Foreign?
overseas?
Go ahead in the yellow, please.
What happened?
The Nobel Peace Prize will be announced on Friday. You've been nominated by many world
By many, many countries. That's
many
right.
countries as well as the hostage families. Do you think you will win?
I have no idea. I mean, look, I did settle. Marco would tell you we settled 7 wars.
I killed
We're
7
close to
flies
settling
with
an
one,
8th.
7
And I
giants
think
in
we'll
one
end up
swoop.
settling the Russia situation, which is horrible.
Uh-oh,
7,000
rising gold
people
prices
died
are
last
often
week, by
seen
the
as a
way,
bad sign for the
in,
U.S. economy
Russia,
as they can
between
signal
Russia
lack
and
of investor
Ukraine.
confidence.
I think
Lauren,
we'll settle
thank
that,
you for
so
coming in with
I don't
the,
think anybody in history has settled that that
with
many,
the
but perhaps
info.
I'll
Wait,
find a
can you
reason not to
quote
give it to
some
me,
of
you
your
know?
sources, Lauren? That
Perhaps
would be
I-
great. Yeah, what about the tenant media? There's some of them are there. I don't know if Coringe is there.
Thank you.
That would be a lot for her.
What is your position on the extension of health care subsidies, which is what Democrats are asking for?
All I want to do is very
Yeah.
simple. I want to
Nailing it.
get
Lauren's
the country
nailing it.
open, and then we're going to discuss that.
I know, kind
and
of,
we'd like to.
but
Obamacare is a
we'll let it
horrible
go for now.
mess, and it has been from the beginning. We want to make it better, stronger, even if it costs more money.
I
costs
like
more
sources,
money,
though.
We want to make
I
it
always
better.
like
The
sources.
Democrats want to make it worse. The Democrats want to approve health care for illegals
No,
coming
we
into
don't.
our country.
I mean,
many
actually,
of them
I
coming
do.
in from prisons.
Can I tell
and
you? I
mental
actually want
institutions and
immigrants
drug
to have
dealers.
health care
They
because
wanna
I want a
give them
healthy
health care.
community.
We don't want that.
Because I don't want sick people in the community. Because I don't want to get sick. So if you want to look at it from a completely selfish standpoint, you want people to be healthy in your community so that you can actually have a healthy community. So yeah, I guess I actually do support that 100%.
For our people, because that's going to destroy the health care that we already have.
No, it isn't.
We'd like to make Obamacare better for people,
How?
less expensive and better health care.
How do you
Yes,
do
ma'am.
that?
Mr. President.
I'm wondering
He has
if
no
you've
plan.
been briefed on
He's
the
just gonna kill it.
organization and funding of Antifa, and if so, what have you learned?
I have been, and they have pretty good knowledge, but they're going to have a very good knowledge. And I really ask
What's
these
this mean?
very brave patriots that we're surrounded with today to let us know, because I think you probably have some pretty good ideas. And even if you're not sure, let us know and we'll figure it out. Okay, if you could do that. You're from Italy?
No, I'm from France. Can you specify how close we are to the deal? Would that be announced today, tomorrow? And do you want to see the hostages released before you travel to the region?
No, I think I'll probably go maybe before the hostages are released or shortly thereafter, pretty much shortly thereafter.
I know,
Yeah,
they are auto-censoring, aren't they?
In the negotiation.
Go ahead. Who you with? Who you with?
The Center Square. I had the honor of asking you originally if you would
she's
designate Antifa a terror organization. And I stand here before you today, and I'm echoing what Andy said over here. Are you going to work with your administration as the Secretary of State's here? Are you going to work with your administration to designate it a foreign terror organization?
Foreign?
You mean a terror?
Foreign?
Antifa?
A foreign terror organization.
A foreign
Has that
terror
been done?
organization.
Pretty close, right? Would you like to see it done?
Yes, Mr. President.
Do you think it would help?
They have foreign links
I'd be glad
all
to do
across
it.
Andy,
West
I think
no.
it's the
Yeah,
kind of thing
Pepper.
I'd like to do.
Foreign?
If you'd like, does
Middle
everybody
East.
agree?
Which foreigner?
If you agree, I agree. Let's get it done, okay? Let's get it done. Marco, we'll take care of it.
Mr. President.
That's international, you mean? International.
President.
Sounds good to me.
What are we talking about?
Steve, are you okay
Where's the
with it?
headquarters?
Yes,
Where's
it's
the
true.
fucking
There are
headquarters?
extensive foreign ties, and I think that would be a very valid step to take.
Good, I think so too.
Yes.
Good, I think it's a good point. Thank you.
President Trump, are you planning on formally participating in this?
On the shutdown,
Stephen
we're
Miller.
now about 1 week away from military service members missing their paychecks.
We'll always
Would you-
take care of our military.
Would you encourage
really?
Congress to pass a standalone bill?
Because
to
we
pay
don't
our
have
service
domestic
Yeah, that
terrorism
probably
laws.
will happen.
Oh,
We have to
yeah.
worry about
Thanks,
it yet.
Merrick
That's
Garland.
a long time. You know what 1 week is for me? An eternity. 1 week for me is a long time.
What does that mean?
We'll take care of it. Our military is always going to be taken care of. Yeah, please. Blue dress. Blue.
Yes, very, 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 very bad and
Rebecca with
dangerous.
Blaze News. I'm curious to know, so you're talking about the money funding these Antifa organizations, and somebody brought up Roy Singham, I think it was you, who, by the way, is married to one of the
Loyal to
co-founders
Satan.
of Code Pink, this infamous left-wing organization.
I'm loyal
curious
to
know the
myself,
administration-
bitch.
Who is that? Who is that?
Roy
Where's-
Singham,
Get
he's
the
married
fuck outta
Oh,
to...
did you
here.
say they're here?
Get the fuck
No, he's
out
not.
of
A
here.
journalist brought him up, but
Oh, I
Get
see.
the
Okay.
fuck
Yeah,
out of
thank
here.
you.
Good.
You
Good.
fucking
Good bring up.
fuck.
Excellent.
Go ahead.
Fuck you.
He's somebody who's been reported on extensively, and I'd love to know what the administration is going to do to actually bring consequences to some of these names.
out of
Well, I don't know
here.
the name, but I would like to ask Pam to take a look at it.
You
You know, a lot of the
fucking
best
idiot.
information
You
we
don't
find
fucking
is
know
through
anything, you
and
fucking
other
idiot.
people like you. So I'd like you to look
You're
at
not
it. Pam.
real either. Satan isn't real, and you're not real.
In the back, please.
God, go talk to mommy.
Compelling proof that Antifa did infiltrate on January 6th, dressed up
What?
like Trump supporters and incited
Bullshit.
violence.
Is that what's her
something that
name
you would want the new J6
from,
committee at Congress to look into?
Well, I've heard that.
Is
They
that,
dress up like,
what's her name from,
you know, they're fresh out of MAGA, but they have nothing to do with MAGA. And they make
One
trouble
America's
and they try
Voice?
and
One
blend it
America
in.
News
Yeah,
Network?
We know
Is she
some of that,
OANN?
and we will be acting on some of that. We've seen it. We've seen it. So I think you could stay a little longer, but you know the problem is, although you have some very honest journalists, and
Cara
you also have some
Castronova.
mostly
Yes, I know who
largely
you're talking
dishonest
about.
journalists
Well, she's
like
an insurrectionist.
MSDNC and
Cara Castronova.
CNN. I think they're very dishonest, unbelievably, like a waste of time even
Wait
talking
in order
to
to
them.
make it
But,
a foreign group. This could be dangerous. No,
I
it's
have to go now
it's
to try
very
and
dangerous.
solve some problems in
It's
the Middle East,
happening.
although I'm very
It's
well
happening. Oh,
represented by
Castanova. Oh, I thought it was
our
supposed to.
Secretary of State. He could probably do an even
thought there
better
was an
job
R
than
in
me. But who knows?
No,
we don't want
Cara
to take
who?
any
There you
chances. So
go.
we're going to go and do that.
I like it.
If
Always
you'd like,
Cara
Pam,
who.
would you like
Okay.
to stay for another 5 minutes, 10 minutes while we have all these great people? And I'll let Pam and Christy take over. And get some good points out. I just want to thank the people around the table in particular. You've been amazing. You've been brave. You're real patriots. You're real patriots.
They're not.
And at some
Fun
point,
fact,
we're going to have to
they're
look
not.
into, at least in certain cases, rewarding you with some
DW
very
is
important
good. I
medals and honors,
watch
okay,
that
as we have
sometimes.
done, and
Deutsche
we'll be
Welle?
doing with Charlie Kirk. You know, Charlie is getting the Presidential Medal of
News is
Freedom,
news.
which is our highest award outside of the Congressional Medal
he
of Honor.
loves
And
these
I think they're sort of even. One's civilian and
circle
one's military. But unfortunately, the
shrooms in
civilian
that
sometimes
room.
is
Lots of
military
toadstools.
also because of what we have to go through on the streets of this country. I can only tell you this: we have a great nation. We have a nation that's right now the hottest in the entire world. We're the hottest nation in the world, despite all of the things we've been saying today. But that's going to make your job easier, because nobody's doing better than we are financially. We've never done better. We've had, I think, 58 stock market increases since I've been top, meaning record increases. We have never seen anything like it, and we're going to keep it going. That makes it a little bit easier for what we're doing. I guess maybe it also makes some people crazy because they don't want to see us do well. But we're the hottest nation anywhere in the world, and we were a dead nation 1 year ago. I say it all the time. We were a dead nation. Now we're the hottest nation in the world, and that's said to by every leader. One of the reasons that we have every country already signed up.
I'm so hot.
We're just about to sign. Every country in the world on this
Getting hot
whole
in
mess we have
here,
going
so
on with
take
Hamas
off
and the
all
Middle
your
East
rights.
and all
I
of the
am
things you see
getting too
is
hot.
they respect
I'm
our
gonna take
nation.
my rights off.
A year ago, you wouldn't have been able to get it. You certainly couldn't have gotten
He's
it with
so
Biden.
afraid to
He didn't know
die
where the
or
hell
go
he
to
was.
prison.
But a year ago, you wouldn't have been able to have a situation
I know.
like
He
this.
only
So
has about
I just
20.
want to
You're
thank
right.
the people
The-
around this table and
the
certainly
Rolodex
the
is
officials
full.
around the table
Okay?
because they've been
The Rolodex is
incredible.
full.
They've been brave. And I watched yesterday, Pam.
Yeah,
and
just ignore
I
everything we
watched
just
a little
talked
bit.
about.
I thought it was so good.
Because
I
now we're
rounded
great.
up and
Wait, what?
I watched it late in the evening because I thought you were fantastic yesterday. You really.
Yeah, he meant to
you had
say
some
pedo.
wonderful senators, some great politicians asking you very fair
getting
questions,
hot
and you had some real slime balls.
So
But I thought you were
take off
amazing.
all
So thank you very
your
much. And Christy, thanks for the great job. Cash, thanks for the great job. Always my man
so
back down there. He's the silent type, but he's a hell of a lawyer. Thank you all. We're going to get peace in the Middle East. That's what we want to do. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, so we're done.
What specifically makes you so hopeful, Mr. President?
Todd Blanche. You kept me out of prison, bitch. You kept me out of prison. There's Susie. She's like, come on. We gotta go. Stephen Miller. Oh, you guys are great.
What's left to do, Mr. Rubio? Mr. President, what's left to do?
All right, that's it. The party's over. It's time to call it a day. Let me get that off the screen. We'll get Pussy Bitch off too. Hold on. Where is he? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Uh-oh. I don't know where you went. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oops. There's another one. Wait. Where are you? Okay. There we go. I'll take off all your rights. I am getting so hot. I'm gonna lose all my rights. It's getting hot in here. We're about to lose our rights. I am getting so hot. We're gonna lose our rights now. Wow. You know what? It only makes me more resolved to get out there. And granted, I am my bone density is probably not the best for protesting, but I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, favorite thing I saw from Portland in June was a protester shouting at ICE while they were pepper spraying them. My mom makes spicier burritos than your pepper spray. Oh my God. I know, right? Oren, please don't even come for me today, right? No, this only makes me more resolved. I mean, mission not accomplished, sir. You thought you were going to scare people into submission? No. I'm an old lady. I have actually less to lose by being arrested or whatever. Right? Laugh and mock. That's right. No, I'm going to be out there probably more because you said that. Oh, that's so nice, meowing. I love that. I'm so happy. I love that. Honestly, earnestly happy for you. We all need that. We need people who see us, right? Everybody, I think people really need to be seen and heard. And it's hard, right? It's really hard. It's a struggle. But I really truly believe that. That's kind of one of the basis of my show and the way I do my show. My right to protest, Daniel. My right to protest. Because if you designate any kind of resistance to an administration and then they make that illegal, that is actually that's the First Amendment, the right to assemble. So there's lots of rights, Daniel. Keep up. Sorry. Pesky facts. Pesky facts. They wouldn't need to do it if they were secure. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. Nice try. I don't know, not really. Orange God King is hiding the Epstein files. That's right. Release the Trump files. This is what this is all about. He knows he raped a child. I mean, there's already been credible testimony and depositions that he raped a child. So you are supporting a pedophile if you support this person, or you're at least supporting a person who has raped a woman and been convicted of it, by the way. I realized someone said he hadn't been, someone at Portland said he has, oh, bye, sweetheart, bye, peace, love. He said, someone at Portland said, he's never been convicted of a sexual abuse, whatever. And I'm like, dude, are you not paying attention? Are you not paying attention, bitch? Because he was actually convicted and he had to pay that woman. And he did pay that woman. Okay? So guess what? He admitted that he fucking did it. And he got convicted by a jury of his fucking peers. So shove it up your ass if you don't think that you are putting your head in the sand and not acknowledging that the man you admire, the man you are sanctifying, is a fucking pedophile. And you just won't open your eyes to see it. And that's pretty fucking dumb. That makes you look like the idiot. Sorry, not sorry. So that is media literacy, folks. Media literacy. Yeah, it was a civil trial. That's right. As if that's a difference. I'm sorry. It was proven that he did it. Period. They proved their case in a court of law. And guess what? If you stand for the Constitution, you stand for those laws. And guess what? We had to accept it when he was able to delay his criminal trials to a point where they could not be executed. But trust and believe that there was 9 felonies. I'm sorry. There's fire in that smoke. I get it. You don't want to see it. I understand. I get it. I don't, but I do. But the bottom line is that he's guilty of crimes. And he's actually going to ruin this country. Because the extortion ring, known as our trade deals, are only serving to cut us off from allies, which we will need. Believe it or not, we are going to need those allies. And he is going to run our system into the ground, right? He's going to run our system into the ground by imposing these tariffs that now become a new tax that we as consumers pay, in addition to income tax. So guess what? Your taxes just went up if you're a normal person that buys shit. You're not an American and you're looking from outside, and I think people are taking him way too seriously. Well, unfortunately, Daniel, you've wandered into a room of someone who knows what the network is around him. So if you watch me at all, Daniel, you'll find that I know more about this network and how it works and who's involved and where the money is than you would ever know. So I'm taking seriously that people are being kidnapped off the street, that he is going to figure out a way with the fucking Insurrection Act to stop us from protesting and redressing our grievances with our government, which is actually in our Constitution. It is one of our inalienable rights. So, I'm sorry that you don't know what is happening here, but you come in with your fucking attitude. So maybe you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself in my chat, bitch. So there you go. Well, don't come in with stupid comments, and then maybe I will not talk to you this way. Yeah, you're way out of your league. You are not on my level, babe. You are just not on my level. You don't have media literacy. Go do some homework and then come back. Watch all of my shows from the last 3 years. Anyway, no, I'm just having fun with Daniel. That's great. I'm glad you responded, Daniel, but please do better. Do better, babe. Or pick another chat, because you just wandered into the wrong one. You totally don't know what the story is. And that's fine. I'm willing to teach you, but you have to watch all my videos. You should always take a deranged old man with enablers. So, yeah, you should take the man who is the leader of the free world seriously if he's making laws and decisions that impact your people. Anyway. All right. Well, this has been, oh my God, this is so fun. And I'm so glad you guys came. Thank you so much for coming to this Twice Baked. Yeah, he's got the nuke codes. Imagine coming into a chat. We take the time to educate each other with receipts and sea lioning. Thank you, Daniel. I do hope you're curious, but that's not how you ask the question. And it's fine. If you ask the question that way, I will answer that way. If you come in and say, hey, do you think Trump is the problem? Then I might answer it more thoughtfully. But you come in and say, you guys are just TDS. Like, go fuck yourself, all right? Please, stop. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Yeah, I know. Trolling. That's okay. Trolls, hey, you help the algorithm. I'm fine with that. Keep chatting, please. And I unblocked a couple of people, so they made requests for me to unblock them, so I did. So if you're watching, you're unblocked. Oh my God, because I just don't give a shit. I have nothing that you say is going to impact me in the least. I also want to say that an abuser's channel has been removed from YouTube. Thank you so much for everyone, but an abusive channel and other alts of that channel. If you recall a situation where I was being harassed by an individual on YouTube, I learned that his channels have been taken all the way away. All the way away. Not just for a week, not just for whatever, all the way away. So however that happened, I'm delighted to see it, because guess what? Some voices shouldn't be heard. When they stalk people, when they use people's daughters' pictures as their avatar and then try and catfish using their identities, stealing identities online, cloning yourself with other people and going into chats and dropping N towers and other slurs, acting as if you're that person, accusing people of baseless but very harmful and defamatory statements, then yes, I don't want you to talk because you're lying all the time. Yeah, bye-bye. 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 Clip it, bitch. He's on Rumble. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I win, bitch. I win, bitch. Of course, he can clone other shit, but he doesn't have his main channels. And you know what? Oh my God, for that, you get this. Wait. Oh my God. Jen Griffey! Ah. Oh, I got to play your song. I'm going to play it. Hold on. But you get this. You get a hot dog finger. Hi, Teresa. Wow, the little I saw was horrible, but oh my God, he's bad. He's like worse. With other people, he's actually far worse. Like he keeps coming after me, but he goes after a lot of people. He's really bad. And sorry, I mean, don't be bad on the internet. How about that? Don't be bad on the internet. I got an idea. Don't be bad. But let's hear a little bit, maybe, hopefully, for Jen. Oops, isn't not playing. It's not playing. Hold on. I need to do this part for it to play, apparently. Where is it? God, God, I got to get faster on this. See, this is something that I would love to improve, is my ability to navigate my OBS better. And I clearly am not succeeding. Fuck. Okay, I'm going to play you another song. I'm going to play you another. Not that one. Hold on. Don't leave me. Yeah! Oh! Yeah! Thanks, Jen. Jen! I love you, Jen. I love you so much. You guys don't have to give me your money. Or if you want to, you can just do it 99 cents. Then we can play music. You get a hot dog finger, and you get a hot dog finger, and you get a hot dog finger. I can't wait to use those in the field. Yeah! That's right. Oh, it's not a party till the wieners come out. It's not a party till the wieners come out. Why is that sideways? Listen, y'all. Listen, y'all. Hot dog fingered. Oh my God, it's like so many things happening at once, right? I think I need to wear this hat actually and go out as a real person to protest. I might do that. I don't know. I want to keep that dinosaur thing going. I want to keep that inflatable spirit going. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I got to commit to the bit, which I am committed to that bit in a big way. Those dinosaurs are very serious to me. I love my dinosaurs. Ho down at the hoedown. Ho down. Woo. Thank you for coming today. I love you so much. I will see you tomorrow morning. What does the hat say? It says, it's not a party until the wieners come out. Oops. It's from a hot dog restaurant up, and I say restaurant loosely. But I do love some Der Wiener Schnitzel as growing up in California. I love my Der Wiener Schnitzel. Goodbye, Jen and Jen and I can't remember who else gave money. God damn it. Hold on. Jen and I don't know what that is. Oh, I don't get it. Okay, that's wrong. I don't even know that. Hold on. Oh, kid is not going to give it to me. Anyway, thank you for everything. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. I love you too. All right, I'm going to do the outro. Okay, hold on just a second. Wah.